Make sure it's up. Shout out to the 55 people waiting.
Yeah, it was like my podcast the other day. I had 71 people already waiting. Stuff. Yeah, I'm like, whoa.
They demand entertainment. They will have it.
They will get every second of it.
They wanted to hear from their Messiah, and they did. That's how hell.
Where's the entertainment? Where is it? Where is it? Where? All right, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Big Cloud here with the crew, man. It's RGT Podcast, episode 103. How you guys doing? February 28th. Man, good to see everybody back on the channel. I'm definitely hyped for today's show. As always, man, favorite day of the week. Chill with you guys, talk this gaming news, and just have a good time in general. Shout out to everybody that was already waiting in the chat. We have 55 people waiting. Let's go hit that like button, hit that share button, get more gamers in here. We do appreciate you guys coming through. And like always, let's have an awesome show. This is RGT Podcast again. Let's get into the panel. Big Mike, this dude right here, he represents the platform live. Good dudes over there. Go check them out every Saturday at was it 1 p.m. Pacific?
1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific.
Okay, 1 p.m. Eastern. Go check them out. Go ahead, Mike.
What's going on, everybody? This is Big Mike in the building. I'm here to, sit down and talk some good gaming news with my boys, BitCloud Gaming and Foxy Games UK. That's what's up.
Absolutely. And shout out to Craig Harris. Not Craig Harris. Shout out to Carlos Fernandez. He's actually watching. He can't make it today, but he'll be back next week. But you already know how that is. Shout out to my brother. The Messiah. Go right ahead, brother.
Thanks for having me. Yes, Big Friday. And my elbow is still healing, so that's good. And shout out to Big Mike and the Platform Podcast for landing that major interview tomorrow. And y'all should go check that out. And, glad to be here. Shout out to Carlos and the people in the chat. Hit that like button, and let's get it going.
Oh, yeah. And, of course, making his triumphant return. Everybody missed him. He's officially back in the building. My brother from the UK, Mr. Foxy Games. What's up, brother? Welcome back.
Hey, how's it going? I've been away from two things for too long. One of them was social media because I didn't have internet because I moved house. The second was the coronavirus. Keep away from me, damn it. I don't want your disease.
Club for life.
I'm just going to let that go. What's up, Mateus? Malcolm, Nicky? I got Mateus. Appreciate the subscribe. Let's go ahead and get into this, man. So I'm going to start the show off with the Xbox. I know a lot of people are still talking about the Xbox Series X. Now that we got the full specification reveal, Xbox Series X is now officially 12 teraflops. That is indeed true. This is courtesy of Phil Spencer. The gauntlet has quote unquote been dropped, and people are apparently people are scared. So you know how that is.
I'm scared, Ryan. Will you hold me?
Nah. But so according to the actual specifications of what was revealed, the Xbox Series X is 12 teraflops, has a custom RDNA 2, a Zen 2 processor, variable rate shading, hardware accelerated DirectX ray tracing, custom SSD, quick resume multiple games, dynamic latency input, HDMI 2.1, auto low latency, variable refresh rate, and of course the console supports up to 120 frames per second. That was the big deal. Yes.
So, wait, that all sounds so delightful. What's to be scared about?
Well, apparently, again, if you want to add to the fire here, that's why I said today's show is going to be fire. We're going to have fun with everything. So, hence the embers in the background.
But those are good things, though, right? Everything
these
you
are
just
great.
named.
This is awesome.
These are good. That's good stuff, right? But why would you be afraid of good stuff? That's what I want to know. I want to know. Somebody tell me.
Well, apparently, because, again, Sony's been so tight-lipped and has not said a word that Sony cannot afford to release the info as quickly as possible. Microsoft caught them with their pants down, vice versa. Sony can't do X amount of things. Sony is done, apparently, according to the Xbox community. Now, again, I said this numerous times, with everything going around in the real world and not this fanboy, circle jerk that is the console war, there is actual things happening outside that is preventing them from from doing certain things. But again, people don't want to talk about this. Instead, they want to stay in their little bubble and say that Sony is afraid.
That's a huge
So basically, let me unpack this. So they're not really saying people are afraid of 12 T-flops. What they're saying is people are fearing inferiority in the competition's product called the PlayStation 5. Would I be correct?
I would say you have to. Correct. Some of these dudes take it to their soul. from what me and
yeah,
Craig
but you know, there's a
you got a super
pandemic
chat.
though. There's a pandemic going on. I mean,
I was about to say
millions of people are going to die. And you're afraid of 12 T-flops.
Whoa.
And Jack Reacher even said you can call him an MFing fanboy because Sony dropped out of something called GDC.
Oh, and speaking of that, we're gonna get into that because I'm gonna add to that.
Oh, okay. We'll say
I got
later.
you. I got. Don't worry. I got it all.
No, that's fine.
I got it all. Today's show is gonna be hilarious.
This Xbox Series X though, people are saying that the GPU alone outperforms the RTX 2080
Ti.
That's what me and Danny were talking about this. Everybody's saying it's going to outperform a 2080 Ti.
But how when they haven't released any of the speeds?
Because it's 12 teraflops, Craig.
Well, but the 2080 is 13 T-flops.
Teraflops.
God damn it!
Teraflops is what matters.
I thought
But I thought the 2080 is 13 T-flops, like 13.3.
Wait. Am I on a sitcom? I feel like I'm on a sitcom.
I'm just saying, it's what matters now to these people. The teraflops.
The teraflops.
Well, I mean, but they're still waiting on Xbox X to give it to you. All they gave me was Red. I mean, I have my podcast. They kept talking about Red Dead Redemption. I said that's not even a Microsoft first party game, and it has lower than low graphics.
But Craig, the GPU alone is more powerful than the RTX 2080. I'm not saying it is. That's what's been.
Well, I'm just saying I don't know how that's possible when 13 is more than 12, and they haven't released any clock speed. Like it may only be 5.
Yeah, another thing they didn't give info on was their CPU clock speed.
But their RDNA 2 architecture, which is supposed to make 12 T-flops more than a regular 12. What I guess what I'm trying to say is, if you take a 12 T-flop GPU that does not have RDNA 2 architecture, then it just behaves like a 12 T-flop part with whatever limitations it eventually encounters. However, if you're dealing with AMD's RDNA 2 and it's 12 T-flops, well, you're getting that 12 T-flops that the other GPU has with more efficiency and leeway. Therefore, you can push it harder. Push it good, like salt and pepper, baby. Salt and pepper.
I mean, that's fine. I mean, again, I mean, like I said, the people who had the funniest reaction was the PC community. They were in shock that that console was able to do that. I mean, they were. I mean, from what I saw.
Yeah, Digital Foundry even put out a retraction video, which was interesting as well.
I did not know that.
They put out a video.
Can you go into that? I don't know. I didn't know about that.
But
supposedly it was a
retraction. Craig, apparently the GeForce, and let me say this correctly because I don't want to be shot. Not on my first day back. GeForce RTX 2080 Super Touring TU104 is 11.15 T-flops.
Well, I mean, again, it's going to be more power. I mean, again, to me, it's funny. AMD made a graphics card that they said is 12% faster than the 5700 XT for Series X. But how do they know that without getting the clock speeds and the 5700 XT again? Because I'm a big fanboy of the 57. Everybody knows that card is a 1440p card. That's its target. That doesn't mean it can't do 4K. I'm just trying to figure out how they're, like Big Mike was saying. I mean, if White Zaddy has put a retraction out, that's what I want to hear about, because I did not even know that. Because according to BitCloud, Zaddy has spoken again.
Yeah, apparently he put out a video claiming that he's shocked that the next gen consoles are doing the performance basically the very performance that he talked down upon on his like latest video before we got to here. So apparently he retracted what he said, supposedly.
Well, listen, I was talking to White Zeddy the other day, Craig.
Oh, okay.
While I was having my little holiday away from Twitter, and White Zeddy said that asked me to ask you, the great Messiah, if you need to see a benchmark for this Xbox Series X, because benchmark or no benchmark, 12 T-flops is still 12 T-flops.
Well, again, that's what I'm saying. I mean, I'm just trying to understand what you just said, Big Cloud. What did they retract? What did they put out to have to retract? Because if they retract something in print, that means it's wrong. That means you got information that's.
Remember they put out that comment. They're saying that they doubt the next gen systems would do the leaked teraflops that was already posted out there. Like, for example, I already have those in the description, or not in the description, but I have that in the notes. But like before we got confirmation that it was 12. He was coming out saying that he doubts a next-gen console will even come close to 12.
Well, all that doesn't mean... All that is just pissing in the air now, isn't it? Because Phil, the great Phil...
He's
Phyllis
confirmed it. That's what he was taking back.
A pink dress with a blue ribbon in his hair. That it will be 12 T-flops of power. Don't you love power?
I love Twitter. That's what I love. Let me tell you.
Fuck games. Fuck games. It's all about power.
I mean, again, and I was sitting up there reading the specs, and they were saying I'm downplaying what it's doing. I'm like, how can I downplay anything? I'm reading it right off the screen. Like, I had it up on the screen reading. They're like, well, you're downplaying the specs.
You're a hater too if you don't immediately just like go, oh my God, it's over for Sony immediately when you.
Well, I mean, I don't know how it's over when. I mean, GameStop does know what Sony has, and I'm just going to leave it there. Yep. I mean, I do know somebody who works at GameStop. Really good.
Why can't people be happy though? I mean, look, it's 12 T-flops. That's a wonderful round figure. If you see her with no clothes on, you would cream and jizz. So 12 T-flops is lovely and round and voluptuous. It's a great benchmark for consoles. Shouldn't we be happy that Microsoft has come out and said,
the thing is, I said this too,
and Sony hasn't yet? So maybe now Sony can say, hey, we were doing slightly less. Maybe we can do slightly more.
we said this in a 101, did we not, Craig? And dude was saying that's damage control, that that you guys should be happy, blah blah blah. I'm like,
I was happy.
No, I'm saying we said that to the dudes, where we said they say, oh, dudes, y'all should be happy that you got 12 teraflops. I don't get why you guys are over. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to use this.
Well, I didn't know they were saying it was more powerful, because Dominique Hines in the chat, shout out to him. He said the 2080 Ti, something called Turing, is 13.45 T-flops. So again, how is 13.45?
Yeah, but why are we getting all these different numbers now? If it's 11.5, this is like PS5 specs all over again.
Yeah. Well, no, I know that's my point. But we were talking about the T-flops confirmed. Look, again, I'm still not getting the Series X because they got no games. But
there you go.
And I did have a great conversation online today. Shout out to this gentleman I had a conversation online about, because he was saying, because the way they're looking at it, the way they process the information is, well, if you say you don't want one, you're attacking me for wanting one. And I said, no, I don't want one because Phil Spencer and the company has come out, and I quoted Phil Spencer, we won't have games for this console for 2 years. So I don't want it. Yeah, I won't.
Yeah, but hold on. Wait. That's going to be the industry in general. Only very few those exclusives you're going to get, like from Sony. They're not going to be the big hitters. That it's going to be like every new console generation. You're going to get games that look better than the last gen, but not fully taking advantage of what you have. Yeah, and it's going to take 2 years anyway before you see real fucking super high quality. Like, forget, this looks better than PS4 Pro and Xbox One X. You're going to be like, in 2 years after the PS5 comes out and the Series X, you're going to be, holy shit. You're going to be blown away day one. The launch titles will blow you away. But when you see 2 years in, because remember, these people
which I agree with.
It takes a long time to get.
Yeah. Which is fine, but I'll just come back. Yeah, I'll just come back when the car has its engine in it. I'm not here to say that it won't. It's a good looking car, but you got no engine.
Dude,
I'll come back then,
bro.
And you say it won't have any games, but in theory, it will have games you can't play on a PlayStation and Nintendo. So yeah, you can play them on the PC, but it looks like some PlayStation games are going that way too.
Yeah, I got a report for that too for today's show.
Yeah,
good points for you guys. Good shit. Let me get to these. This is from PlayStation Gamer. His $2 super chat. He said, "Catch you on the podcast. Have a great show. Thumbs up. Appreciate it. Thank you so much." Perfect Image. Another $2 super chat. He says, "Why care about teraflops? You should care about the GPU." Good point. Playlist Bot. Thank you so much for subscribing. Welcome to the channel. And my brother Billy, he drops 10 pounds. He says, "Do you think Sony will release a base PS5 and PS?"
That's 10 euros, by the way.
Oh, it's
10
euros.
euros.
Is it pounds? It's euros.
Damn.
Okay.
I mean, we don't want to insult.
Take your life. Take your life.
Oh God, shut up. Sony released a base PS5 and Pro PS5 both at launch. We're gonna get to that. That's actually one of the topics. I got you. I got you on that, Billy. Thank you for that. And SS9, he drops $2 super chat. He says, "Bot said everyone backed out from Series X power." Basically, he said that everybody's afraid of Series X. That's why they left the quote-unquote events. Now, we got confirmation that Microsoft has actually pulled out of GDC. And obviously, they pulled out of GDC due to the, I'm going to call it the CV, obviously. You already know what it is, the CV virus concerns. They pulled out of that for that particular fear. And the reason why...
fear-mongering.
No,
fear-mongering.
It's not even that. It's not even that.
I know.
They said they did this because they're quote unquote, and I want you to listen to what I'm about to say. They pulled out because their, wait for it, employees' health is their all-time concern. Now, last time I checked, when Sony said this and when we talked about this, it was damage control. Oh, they're afraid. Oh, they have.
Come on, let's not do that tit for tat wank bullshit.
Come on, guys. Keep it real.
The person is doing it. The person.
Come on, let's have a real conversation. I don't have an hour and a half conversation talking about fanboys.
I just love that fanboy. I love that flip. But to go back,
but you give them too.
I'm just throwing that little twist.
Let's not give them too much of a stage. Let's talk about things that people care about.
I'm getting right
to it. Fuck the bots and fuck the ponies. Who gives a fuck about them?
I'm getting right to it. I'm just saying. But anyway, to get back on topic in this whole thing. What are you guys' thoughts on GDC? Actually, matter of fact, not even GDC. Let me go back. Let me go back further. Do you guys think that this the CV virus is going to affect more so than what we think, like more events than we think so far? Obviously,
I think it's going to affect more events. I think it's going to affect more events. It's going to affect the consoles that are coming out this year. Mm-hmm. Hell, it's already affecting a movie, Sonic the Hedgehog in China.
That is true. Yeah, that is true.
Well, I mean, again, they've closed.
The stock market, the stock market even dropped.
The stock
market did drop. Yes.
A lot of dots are shutting down. Again, they can't contain it. The CDC came out and said it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. I mean, that's from the CDC. So I will give every company credit that's following the protocols of the World Health Organization. They're controlled by the United Nations. So I guess the United Nations is afraid of Series X now. But at the end of the day, I'm glad that the companies are following. I work in the medical field. People don't understand how fast this flu attacks your lung. It somehow has a protein on it that affects your lungs. And you're already, if you're sick,
your respiratory functions.
Your respiratory functions are getting effed up. Your stomach's already effed up. Your GI tract's effed up. You can't keep any food down. So and a lot of people are dying. Now, yes, were there a bunch of idiots online? I'm saying idiots. One of them said, "You can call me an MFing fanboy." Their words, not mine. So that's what he is. So I'm glad he said it. And now a lot of them do look stupid because the real world has come into their little millennial bubble. And they just need to shut the F up. And I mean, for me, it's scary because we're on all kind of alerts at the hospital that we're at. That I'm at. So so we get constant hourly updates from the CDC. We have all hospitals do. Now, my hospital's not special. We get constant hourly updates on this, and it's like these idiots don't know what they're talking about. They're worried about gaming consoles, and it's really sad. And these men have families, and they have sons and daughters. So that just shows you.
Do you know what? I don't want to scare people. Believe me, it's not my intention to scare people.
I don't think.
I don't think people are taking the coronavirus seriously. Because if you're bitching about people being afraid of consoles, then you must have your head up your ass, because it's a pandemic. Do you know what that means?
Yes.
Pandemic means it's out of fucking control, and it's all over the fucking globe. Never mind your flat earthers. They'll have nowhere to fucking run.
Thank you. Exactly. And I was looking at this shit, and fucking there was like not a report, but it was a scientist saying that 70% of the U.S. can be affected by this super fast, something like that, or the U.S. is definitely going to spread in the U.S. very fast.
Yes,
faster than we thought.
Well, no. Right now, the problem is that the infection rate, people don't know they have it for at least 9 days. That's a problem. I mean, usually, within, when you start getting sick, it, like, oh God, I'm not feeling good. But again, I said this earlier on my podcast. Go get some vitamin C and vitamin D. Yep. Go get B12 and go get zinc. Go get it now.
Yeah,
that's what you need to do. It's not a matter of. I'm not your daddy, but if you all run into this, you may wake up with your throat slit because you're not going to wake up at all.
No.
Yeah, 70% of the world.
I love people, but stay the fuck away from me if you got that shit.
Exactly. Fat.
So
Dude,
there's that.
It's like me. I've been taking precautions and shit since all this shit's been breaking out.
Got your hand sanitizer?
Yeah, I got hand sanitizer. I got a face mask. You name it. When I go to Walmart or any thing, I went down to fucking carts with their everything. Take precautions, like Craig is saying. Take your precautions.
It's interesting, though, isn't it, that every now and then a new strain of something is introduced into the human population. Isn't that something?
Shit is spooky, as Ryan would say.
Yeah, it's spooky. Shout out to Luca.
Too many people on the planet, eh? Oh well.
Yep. Shout out to Blinder Charge 82. He $2 super chat. He says Sony about ready to hit doubters with the hashtag fat pipe. Shout out to him.
I forgot all about that.
Someone said, someone put read your Bibles. Good luck with that.
Maybe the Chinese.
Good luck with that. Good luck. Everyone who ever read the Bible never died of disease, right?
And famine and pestilence.
Hashtag fat pipe with the. It's just.
I'm ready for the fat pipe, I guess. So, Foxy, we're really glad you're here because I can't only speak for myself. I'm tired of getting people in my Twitter, like my personal Twitter, asking me, "Do you know anything about the specs for the PS5?" So I'm like, "Look, it's going to do 4K. It's going to do It's going to do VR. It's going to do all these ray tracing." And I know this because they told me 6 weeks ago at CES. Maybe you all to go watch CES.
Oh, we're about to get into this for sure. Shout out to Sovereign Cognito. $5 super chat. He says Israeli scientists almost have a coronavirus cure. God bless Israel.
That's a lie. That would mean they would be able to cure the flu, and there's no cure for the flu.
Right.
How do you think they got? Remember swine flu?
That was corona as well. Corona.
How did they control that? How did they control that then?
Well, those two flus did not spread as communicatively as.
Now I tell you, there's a virus already before they even put it out there. They'll turn the tap off when they're ready.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine. Well, maybe we can. I think if McDonald's brings back the McRib, it'll cure it.
Nah, you can
give it time,
McRib
man.
Shit away from
Give it time. A big hand is going to turn the tap off, and then the virus will just go away.
Well, President Trump said that it's going to go away. It's going to disappear.
There we go.
Well, Trump knows a lot. Believe it or not, people think he's a buffoon. But even idiots get to sit at some tables.
Yeah, real quick. We got 300 people in the chat watching this show. Hit that like button. Show some support to this show.
Listen, I'm not. People say I wear a full hat. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I just look at if you can't see the angles, you're in trouble. Remember that. Look at all the angles. Don't just take the presented version that they show you on TV. That's a stage play. That might as well be a fucking, rom-com. They're just giving you what they want you to know. Sometimes you got to go out there and find out for yourself. Don't rely on the media to tell you the truth. Most of them worrying about keeping their position. They ain't worrying about you.
Facts. Let me get
or your
this,
12 T-flaps.
Oh, you better trigger some people. They gotta hear that. They gotta hear that 12.
Listen,
12
I look. 12 T-flops is great. I love 12 T-flops. Listen, I am very I thought that was a bold move. Actually, I'm being very serious. There's no comedy here, and let's try and come off with the whole, depressing coronavirus conversation. Talking about it won't get rid of it. But do stay away from me, though. Don't knock my door. Don't shake my hand. Don't breathe near me. But anyway, so basically, I thought it was a bold move that Phil Spencer did that. Like, literally put out a blog, okay, to say that we got this, and that. This, that, and the other. 12 T-flops. This whole, their own patented, was it VRS? Variable rate shading? Lovely job. They got this, feature where you can even get an update, that system update, and it still remembers your game even when it reboots. Fantastic. This is all stuff that means people waiting on the PlayStation, Sony have like a mountain to reach. They got their own mountain, like they got their own lofty heights to climb. So it's good that Microsoft have put all this out there for Sony to make changes, because believe me, they can make changes. It might be too late to change any silicon that they've already nailed down, but they can introduce another SKU. Of course they can. Yeah. They can have a slightly more they can have that version that might be weaker on paper than the Series X.
Yep.
And they then release one that is more powerful or on par. So they have two systems out. Doesn't hurt the PC market, doesn't hurt Apple phones, doesn't hurt Android. Why can't Sony do that?
Fact.
Well, again, I don't disagree with that. And I just, for me personally, I'd rather talk about it. BitCloud did a great one-on-one interview with the gentleman who was in charge of the Predator Hunting Grounds game.
Oh,
I'd like to talk about stuff like that versus the whole thing with the consoles, because they've already told us what the PlayStation 5 is going to be capable of. Ubisoft, if you believe Ubisoft's developers and IO Entertainment, their developers they're going to have Hollywood-based ray tracing effects.
And you're gonna love this topic. I wrote everything down from this. This is what's going around. So if you see people talking about 14 teraflops or 13, this is basically where they're getting this from. And we're about to get into this right now. So let's go ahead and talk about it. So
wait a minute. Take it with a grain of salt.
There you go.
Right?
Well, okay, at least you look at his track record too, though. I mean, some people are really adding a lot of fuel to what he's saying here. Again, I'm not confirming anything he said is true, but he did get something right though when it came to Xbox Series X. Now, his name is Tommy Fisher. He is
man. Why are people crediting this dude? People were saying 12 long before him. Yeah. They were ranged bots saying 12 T-flops a year before that, and they were just guessing.
Oh, they were guessing. No.
Yeah, there's no credit really to go to anyone.
That's what everybody keeps posting here.
It was already out there. It was out there already. That 12 T-flops is. I can show you videos I put out that said 12 T-flops Xbox.
Okay. Well, that adds a little different element to this, but this is what he said. This is courtesy of what he posted. Let's see. So now the specs are out. Old leaker, courtesy of Reset Error, Tommy Fisher, has come and said that the PS5 specs could look more promising. He even went the extra mile and stated earlier before that the PS5 would be 13.3 teraflops, RDNA 2.0 or RDNA 2 versus Xbox Series X.
I'll tell you what, if that transpires, then I will publicly say, Tommy Fisher, you're the dog's bollocks, mate. I got a feeling it's not going to be 13.3 T-flops. Well,
this actually goes. Now, I was going to ask you guys about this because there's a part 2 to this. Now, there's a part 2 to this, and this goes into the
Take it with a
other
grain of salt.
SKU thing. Now, you guys remember back in 2019, there was a report that Sony was going to come out with 2 consoles for PS5, kind of like what Microsoft's doing, and this actually falls into that. But first, I'm going to ask you guys, for this, what do you guys think? Do you think this makes sense considering that Sony's having trouble with pricing when it comes to the 13?
Well, first of all, let me just say this real quick. It's hypothetical.
Yeah.
So nobody in the chat get carried away and say, "Oh,
yeah, it's not. Yeah.
2 consoles, nah, bollocks," because no one's saying that's the case. This is hypothetical. What I'm saying is, it's too late for Sony to go back to the drawing board if they have a weaker GPU than Microsoft's, and they want to have one on par, or they want to be seen as, neck and neck in terms of power, or even more power. It's too late for Sony to go back and change anything drastically that's going to cause heating issues, or just not really, it's going to be out of sync, put it that way. These things are made, well in advance. They're planning these specs, right? So the only thing Sony can do at this stage in the game, because we are 9 months away from launch, apparently, coronavirus or not, apparently. So it's too late. It's too late. Unless these things are delayed until 2021, Sony cannot change the core silicon because it's nailed it down already. Yeah, they can play with frequencies, but that's not going to make a whole lot of difference. That's more like fine tuning.
Right.
That's like fine tuning. That's not going to make it suddenly more powerful than the Series X.
This is where
might make
there's
it
a part
overwork.
2 to this, because this is another thing that was coming out too. So according to another particular insider, his name's VFX Veteran. He's come out and stated that he heard that there are 2 consoles per company again, and that the mid-gen refreshes are going to be introduced at release so that these consoles can run the entire 7-year cycle. He added Sony is releasing 2 PlayStation models, the base PS5, which is 9 teraflops, and their other one, which is the top of the line one, which will compete with Xbox Series X. He went on to say that this makes sense now as to why people are getting mixed numbers for each of the platforms. He even went on to say that he heard that the top of the line models will be expensive. No pricing, but he would guess that both the Xbox Series X and PS5 would be close, if not $600. Now, granted, like we said,
wait a minute.
Hold on a second.
I said that. Oh, go ahead.
No. But he was saying it around $600. Now, again, we talked about this numerous times with this pricing thing. I don't think $600 is even close. You know what I'm saying? I would say $500. They would eat a gamble and get it to at least $500.
Yeah, but Brian, can I just ask you this quickly? Sorry, before I forget. If you release 2 consoles on the same day, then one of them isn't a Pro, is it? It's just 2 consoles, 2 different models, one slightly more powerful. It's not a Pro. They can still release a Pro after. If, say, Sony did launch 2 PlayStation 5s, 9.2 T-flops and la-di-da-di-da, the other one's top of the range, cleans your bollocks in the morning,
Maybe that's just like the naming they're going for this. Because remember, Sony's not going with like that naming system that Microsoft's going with, where
exactly.
It's Xbox
so
Series.
Look, they'll both be PS5s, right?
Yeah, it's going to be PS5, but you got to differentiate it.
Yeah, but it will, because the box will say deluxe version or something, or premium edition. But that doesn't stop them 3 years later from then bringing out a Pro model, does it?
No. Give me a one.
They can still do that. They can launch 3 consoles in 3 years. I mean, Microsoft did it. Didn't they? Didn't they launch the OG Xbox One, the Xbox One S, and the Xbox One X? That's 3 consoles in 3 years.
Yep.
So why can't Sony do that?
Well, I mean, again, I told people that last year, I said, you all better get ready to pay $600. And people are like, it's no way they're going to do it. If it's going to do all this stuff, you need to be ready to pay that. That doesn't mean that it's going to be. It is
3 years, 4 years, semantics. I don't see the difference. It's still a lot of. It's still multiple consoles within a short time span.
Foxy, quick thing. It was 4 consoles that Xbox released.
Yeah, the Xbox Digital.
Yeah, I don't count that. That never really happened in my world.
he wrote that off.
Happen. That was a dream. I saw an advert once and then forgot about it. You know what I mean?
And mine switched to. He says so. Are we buying on launch or waiting 12 months? That is up to you. You're a grown ass man. You can buy them at launch or
All
wait.
I know is I'm buying. I tell you what, I got a feeling though. If there is a 9 point whatever T-flop one and a more powerful one, say 12, 13 T-flops, I got a feeling that the people buying the more expensive one won't really see where their money went. It's going to be like, because they both do 4K at those specs. Trust me.
Yeah.
Right.
You'll
But
probably,
T-flops don't really matter, though, do they, Foxy? They're not a
I
big
don't think
thing.
you'll really. I think the extra hundreds for a couple more T-flops. I'm not sure it's going to be worth the money, to be honest.
Me and my friend Danny from the Platform Podcast were even talking. When PC gamers even play PC games, they don't talk about T-flops like, look, we got the biggest T-flop here. They don't talk
that's
about.
what the PS5 is going to be. It's going to be much more performance.
I mean, shit.
I'll buy the cheapest one and then I'll wait for the Pro 3 years later.
Look, I think the base PS5 was 1.8 teraflops and the Pro was 4.2 teraflops, where the Xbox One X was 6. And look what 4.2 teraflops was doing with God of War, Horizon Zero Dawn, Days Gone, shit like that.
Oh yeah. No. I mean, you're right.
Exactly. I mean, look at the 1.8 PS4. Yeah, 1.8 T-flop, standard one. Yeah, the vanilla model. Yeah. And look at the Pro. All you're getting with the Pro, really, is a slight CPU boost, which is like 1 or 2 frames. Yeah. So if you did have a game that was 28 dropping under 30, the Pro will just make it 30 frames. Yeah. Right. And then you'll get that faux 4K. Yeah, if you got a true 4K TV. No, I'm keeping it real though. It is checkerboarding. Let's keep it real. I'm not knocking it.
I know. I thought it was funny the way you said it.
It done wonders for God of War. It did wonders for Horizon Zero Dawn. It did wonders for Detroit and Death Stranding. I'm not complaining, but I'm calling a spade a spade. It's faux 4K. It's not real 4K, right?
Right.
And neither is the Xbox One X most of the time. It's close, but no cigar. But here's the thing. With a 9.2 T-flop GPU, that's easily gonna do 4K, and with the CPU, it won't be a lower spec CPU. You'll get the same CPU because they'll need that parity. So you'll still get the 60 frames per second. You'll still get the 4K, right? So what was I'm thinking getting the more expensive PS5, hypothetical second console, the second version. I mean, what benefit would you get if all you care about is 4K 60? The most they can give you is a larger SSD to make it feel like you're getting something extra for the extra 100. But you're not going to really need it because you're not going to dump entire games to the SD drive. You're only going to dump chunks. It's still going to read from the standard slow hard drive. But you just won't know because the SSD is doing all of the muscle work. Do you know what I mean? So I feel like I'm going to buy, if there is 2 PS5s, hypothetical, right? If there is hypothetically 2, I'm buying the cheap one because I feel like they're still going to bring out a Pro one 3 years later. And I don't want to just pay all that money out for a top tier PS5 only to spend that money again. And I'm still getting 4K 60 with the lower model. Oh, come on, do the math. It's Atari Jaguar. Do the math.
Well, I mean, again, to me, it is, as long as it does what they said it was going to do at CES. For me personally, I'm fine.
I just want ponies to keep the energy. Do you know why I said all that? Because remember when people thought it was 9.2 T-flops? Remember when that rumor was out there a few months ago?
Oh, apparently it's confirmed.
People kept saying it don't matter. It's about the games. Yep. So if there is a more powerful PS5, I want to see that same energy. Go for the lower model. It's all about the games, right?
That's
about the power, right?
That's what I've been saying. It's not.
I've never.
You'll have the extreme side on each particular one that'll flip flop. Regarding going
power.
People are hypocrites. People say one thing today, they say something else tomorrow. I don't pay no mind.
Facts.
Yeah. Well, again, I just to me, as long as it does 4K native gaming and you can take advantage of your 4K TVs, and if you have a monitor, you can do 120 up to 240, 8K support. If that's at 9.2, if that's where they need it to be, and they still get great looking games, that's fine. I've seen Sony at 4.2 T-flops produce games like Horizon Zero Dawn and the Uncharted game. And I've seen, you know, Sea of Thieves and friggin' Super Lucky's Tales. So it's not even close for me personally, but I don't think
I'll have them all. I'm buying them all.
So,
Facts.
yeah,
I'm buying them all.
Yeah, I'm getting my.
You will never get a PC GPU. I don't care if they price the Xbox Series X at 600. Yeah, with all if it is 12, if it's everything Phil Spencer said it is, and if you know he's a jughead liar if it isn't, but he said it, so I believe him because he's gone out there now. He's taking his clothes off. We've seen his tinkler, so he can't lie. He can't hide now. But here's the thing: you will never get a PC with that spec for that price. All right, you'll have to pay more than that just for the graphics card. So anyone who says, "Oh, you might as well get a PC," you're having a bubble. The PC you want to match the Series X, you ain't got. I'm not saying you ain't got the money for, but most people ain't got the money for that shit.
Right.
Well, people forget that the whole thing with the Series X, you need a 4K TV, and I mean, for a decent one, you're still going to pay about $600 for a decent one. I don't have, and they don't have to have all the bells and whistles, but you got to add that to the price of the of getting the Series X. Yeah. Versus a PC with say $1,000. Yeah, you can do 4K 100 FPS with HDR with no problem, and still probably have a little money to go out to the club and slide it between Nikki's butt cheek. So
listen, my PC I only bought my PC 6 months ago. Right, I spent damn near $1,500 on it. Okay, that's sterling. So it's probably $1,800 in dollars, all right, in US dollars, and that barely does games in 4K. I get away with it with like Gears 5, and Microsoft games seem to be okay at 4K. I don't know if it's because they're well optimized. I don't know, but no other games I can get to 4K and keep a consistent frame rate, right? Right. And that's me spending $1,500.
Yeah.
So anyone who says I'm gonna get a PC, blah 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 blah, there's very few of those people saying that are being real. They're just playing Billy Big Bollocks because you know everyone's claims to have the most powerful PC. I bet they're playing on 720p, barely does 640p laptops. Most of them.
That is correct because again the PC community does game mostly at 1080p. Now they're in ultra settings, and they may be at 100 frames a second, maybe 200 frames a second for some games, but overall they're at 1080p. And then you do have another
so people should stop fronting. It's like everyone who's got a car says, "Well, I'm gonna go for a Porsche." Like you can all afford Porsches. Go on then.
Yeah. So yeah, it's interesting to me. I mean, again, I won't be getting Series X because they told me not to. That's all I can really tell people.
I'm getting them all.
So
I'm getting the PS5. I'm getting the top. I tell you what. Here's the worst. People might hate me for this until they understand the ideology behind it.
That's a huge bitch.
See, I said I'd buy the lower tier PS5, didn't I?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But for the Xbox Series X, I'd buy the top tier model. Now people might think, why? Why? You know why? Because I wouldn't buy a Pro Xbox Series X. I wouldn't bother. I just make that last me for the whole generation because the games I want to play are on the Sony platform, which is why I'll be buying the Pro, which is why I buy the cheap model to begin with. Because I'm not being funny, yeah. I don't see a huge difference in quality when most people are going to own the lower model. Believe it or not, if there's two PS5s, the main seller is going to be the cheapest one.
It's going to be the cheapest,
that means all development is going to be focused on that one.
Yeah.
And you'll still get 4K. You'll still get 60. The other one's just going to be a few more bells and whistles. But to be honest, if you're planning to upgrade to a Pro anyway, like I am, there's no point going for the top tier model. I need to spend the same money again unless you like throwing money down the drain, you know. I'm not hurting for money, but I've got common sense.
Yeah.
Well, to me, it's I don't even know if there's going to be a PS5 Pro. If their target is $399, and they feel whoever their shareholders are like the reason why we sold so well is because we were cheaper at launch. fine. And then if you give me something that matches, because I kept hearing that all these developers were going to make their games look and run better on Series X, or not Series X, Xbox One X, and they didn't do it. I mean, I'm sorry, but there's actual proof that they didn't do that. So to think they're going to just turn around and do it again, the only one that's come out, and if we want to talk more about the Series X specs, everybody's on the T-flops. The big deal I think they were able to do is when Phil Spencer came out last year and said that how AMD was able to get the games to run on Xbox X better. That's the big selling point for Series X. Because they've said we ain't gonna have nothing for it, but I know for a fact when I played Mass Effect on the 360, the jump to the Xbox X, it does look better. It does have better sound. So if they're gonna say, well, you can now play, I don't know, Oblivion instead of 4K 30 on the X, it's gonna be what, 4K 60? That's it, maybe, and then maybe a little bit better graphics, a little bit of ray tracing. It's like, all right.
It will take for me to buy the top tier PS5 model. It won't be the extra T-flops. It will be memory. If they give me an extra 4 to 8 gig of memory over the original model, I'll buy the top tier one. But the extra 2 T-flops, you're not going to really. Honestly, it's going to be negligible. I mean, look at PS4 games and look at PS4 Pro games. They look the same on a 1080p screen.
Good point.
Don't they? It's only when you put it on a 4K one, you start to see the checkerboard and that workmate looks slightly more clearer. Slightly less muddy.
Yeah.
Slightly though. Not enough for me to say, here's 100 quid more. Thank you for robbing me. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'd rather it'd have to be the RAM. Give me more RAM. Instead of 16, give me 20 or 24. Go on, 24. Just 4 more.
Yeah, but I'm just there's like real world figures that I can look at when I got people telling me that all this is going to happen and that's going to happen, and it didn't happen. So there's no reason to believe that it's going to happen again.
It's hypothetical.
Yeah, it's all hypothetical. And the fact that
this is really happening. Do not adjust your streaming.
Well, now Phil Spencer is saying that we can't make third-party developers take advantage of this when all you all talked about was third-party developers. And they didn't take advantage of the Xbox X. And if they say what about Red Dead, it's like Red Dead's horrible. Red Dead is lower than low graphically.
Craig, isn't it time, brother, Messianic genius that you are? Isn't it time to give Xbox some credit now? They're giving you a powerful console.
They just did that.
They make a commitment to gaming. That's 15 studios. They're throwing money at Xbox again. They're promoting it as a gaming box and not an entertainment device. All right, that was the Xbox One's downfall. Shouldn't we just take our foot off of their neck just for a second?
Oh, yeah.
And allow them to release this bitch.
Well, but they just did that. They just did the Xbox X, which I was told to be scared. I was told the beast was coming. I'm still waiting. It's not here. What did you say? They got 15 studios. Again, that's what you should do. That's like me going to the liquor store and actually walking out with a 5th of Jack Daniels because it's the liquor store, for Christ's sake. Right. And I do not get it.
I think they're doing what they can. They've had a terrible current gen. This gen has been ridiculously bad. The worst gen they've ever had, even worse than their launch Xbox, OG Xbox.
Yeah, right? and I've said
it's a terrible time for them. I feel like maybe we shouldn't judge them on one platform. It's not a failure because look, 50 million, it's respectable. But when you look at Sony's numbers,
you look at their own numbers, Foxy. Look at their 360. Forget about Sony. They still.
To be honest, I believe the 360 sold exactly the same amount as the Xbox One has today, because the extra 30 million are probably replacement units that they didn't.
Oh no, they're probably right about that because the sale rate was. But at the end,
they didn't discount from the sales numbers originally.
At the end of the day, I mean, for me, if there's nothing, I'm not on their neck. They told me not to buy the console. We don't care if you buy the console. Okay, I'm not going to buy the console. Because I'm not going to open up a restaurant and say, well, I don't care if you come here and don't eat. You know, but
No, they're not
they,
saying that. They're saying we don't care if you don't come to this
That's a
branch.
huge
If you
bitch.
go to the other branches and eat, we still get your money though. So
I
you
mean,
eat where you
possible.
like, long as it's the same branch. Because what Microsoft are doing is they're saying we don't care if you buy the console. They're not really saying that. What they're saying is our business model doesn't depend on you actually buying hardware from us. The fact that you're
fine.
playing our games on any other hardware, we still eat. We're still that restaurant. You're just not eating in our restaurant, but you're still eating our food. So you pay. If you try and leave, you'll wash the dishes or we'll call the cops.
Well, again, like I said, they don't care they don't care if I buy a console. Well, I'm not. But again, there's nothing wrong with what they're doing.
Bro, you're not getting what I just said.
Oh, I got what you just said.
You just said, right? Microsoft acting like a restaurant, yeah? Don't eat here. Yeah, but they're supposed to be making money, so they should be encouraging you to eat. But what Microsoft is saying is, we have all these other restaurants. You don't have to eat at this one.
That's what I just said.
The other ones, we're still going to get paid, and you're still enjoying our games.
And I got that, and I agree. They said that you don't have to buy the console in order for us to eat and so I'm like, okay, I'm not buying their console.
Yeah, but technically, but technically, you are buying the console when you go to another platform because you're investing in the ecosystem. The ecosystem and the console are the same. You just don't own. You just didn't pay for. You just didn't. You just didn't have to buy that particular box. But the ecosystem.
I didn't buy that box. I understand what you're saying.
No, but think about it. On the PC, it's Xbox, isn't it? It's Xbox Live, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a live. Yeah, it's Xbox
so it's
Live.
Like it's still the console. Then it's just in a different form factor.
It's in a different spot. Yeah, it's in a different form. Yeah, like I said, that's what I said. I don't need their console to enjoy their games. Like I'm gonna buy Flight Sim tonight. More than likely, I'm gonna sit down and play it tonight.
Yeah, but you know that you won't be able to afford. Now, I don't know your financial situation, so I'm not going to say that. No, but what I'm going to say is you might not want to afford the kind of experience that you'll get for $600 theoretically on a Series X or a PS5. You won't be able to get that in a PC unless you're prepared to spend about $2,000.
Well, no, I'm not, because that's the thing.
So you're going to get the lesser experience of those console games.
No, this is what they said. They can't make these third-party developers give them whatever they'll call it, a patch or whatever for Series X. On my PC, I can do that automatically. So I'll always have the better experience.
No. You know what? 12 T-flops.
Yeah, 12 T-flops. Yeah.
Compared to my 7.9 T-flop Navi first generation RDNA 1 AMD GPU, right? Remember, I spent $1,500 on that. Yeah?
Yeah.
I'm not going to get anywhere near 12 T-flops on it for that price.
No, you're not. But you're going to still. But if you play Gears,
in theory, I'd have to spend about $2,000 for a 12 T-flop system with the similar specs that the Xbox Series. So I'm trying to say to you is fine, game anywhere. I'm not trying to sell you an Xbox.
Oh, no, I know what you're doing.
I'm saying you're gonna get a lesser experience on your current PC. You're gonna have to go and buy new parts, which is probably gonna cost the same as buying an Xbox Series X.
Well, I'm upgrading right now. So
that doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense then. Why spend more to play Xbox games?
I'm not spending more. Do I look like the kind of man that's going to spend more to get a great experience? Hell
you said
no.
You're upgrading. You said you're upgrading. That's going to cost you $300 for a new card. For a cheap, a basic card is about $300.
About $120 for the CPU.
A 1440p card is like $300, bro. 1440p.
Well, I'm not doing 1440p. So I'm still going to stay at 1080p Ultra. Yeah. No, that's what I'm saying.
So you don't care. You don't care about 4K then, basically.
No, but if I want to, I can unplug my monitor and hook it into my TV.
What about ray tracing? Do you care about ray tracing?
No, from what I understand about ray tracing is that it's going to take them. It's not going to have the same impact as HDR did. So I'm more excited about. It's not that I'm not excited about.
I just don't. I was the one. I was like you. I was like, you know what? I'm not buying the Xbox Series X. I'm just gonna improve my PC specs. But I looked into the prices of graphics cards to get, and I done the math, and I tried to build just on the internet, looking at all these different parts for the best money I could get, value for money, and it just skyrocketed. It went like to it was 1900 and something, and I'm like,
well, that is
I'm doing all that just to match the Xbox Series X, which is going to be like $599. Why would I do that? Like,
well,
why am I
again,
doing that? Just so I can say I own a PC?
No, that
just so I
actually
can
makes
say
sense.
I got a PC.
No, that makes sense until you understand that. Again, like you said on your own videos, the person on the PC will always have the better form. And I'm all about, it's like with the ladies. Man,
That's not true. That's not true. No, you need to change what you just said. I'm going to fix it for you. This is what you meant to say. The person who has the most capable PC will always have the better experience. Don't just say anyone with a PC will always have the better experience, because that's not true. In order to have even now, you need a decent spec PC to even run games like PS4 Pro games that Sony are making.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? If you want to run it in the same, if you want to run it in the same resolution,
I get, Foxy, I get what you're saying, but I mean, for me personally, they told me not to get the console. Like I said, I mean, I'm sorry.
That's not your serious argument, though, is it? Like, you don't listen to Microsoft anyway. So
no, I don't listen to them. No, I mean, I don't, because I'm a grown man. I don't need. No, I'm
a grown man.
I just don't. I don't want people to think. I don't want people to think I'm trying to sell you something here, because I don't work for Microsoft or Sony. But I'm just looking at the common sense of it all. I'm looking at the cost of building a PC to match what Sony's PS5 is going to be, what the Xbox Series X is going to be. To build one, or even upgrade an existing one that you probably bought last year, like me, you're still going to spend more than those consoles.
Well, again, not me. But again, I know how to. When people that watch my podcast, they see the way I be buying stuff. I'm like, no, I'm not going to buy this right now. I'll just wait here. But at the end of the day,
how much is an RTX 2080 Ti, by the way?
I think you can get one for about $1,100.
Right, so it's a grand 100, right? And yet Xbox Series X allegedly has that power on par with that $1,100 part, and you'll be able to get it for $599. I mean, you'd have to be like someone who's just born with
$899.
Born with gold coins as a brain. You don't actually have a brain. You just got money in your head. Like, it's just jingling. Like, you shake the person and give money.
Look, if AMD has done a graphics card that can outperform a GTX 2080 Ti, that's what and nobody knows. And like you did say, allegedly, that's perfectly fine.
All right, not the Ti, the Super.
Wrong.
The Super. Okay. Not the Ti. My bad. Sorry, the Super's still 600. So just for the GPU alone, you're paying for the price of an Xbox Series X. Come on. I mean, unless you really want to say you got a PC, I don't see the point. And
no, the Super is $799. Hold on, let me make sure. Yep, 2080 Super is $699.
Unless you're that guy that has to just say to people online, I've got a really powerful.
I got the powerful.
I just don't get the logic in choosing to buy the GPU part that costs the same as the whole console that is of equal power.
Because it doesn't.
You have sense to me.
You're not adding in your 4K TV that you're going to be paying another $600.
But you probably already own the 4K TV. Most people already. Gamers. I'll be honest. Most gamers I know. I can't speak for the world, but most gamers I know own 4K TVs already. They got it for their Xbox X or their PS4 Pro.
And most people that you probably know on their PCs, and they're just going to spend another $400 to $500 to.
I'm not against the PC, man. I bought one.
I know you're not. I know you got one.
But I just don't see the logic of. I just see it as a waste. Just buying a GPU.
Hey Ryan,
that costs the same amount as the console that has the same amount of power as that GPU.
You say
you're gonna play kind of the same games. You're gonna play the same games as well. Like, I don't know why you do that. It's your money.
Again, I don't know why people are buying something that the company says, I don't want you to buy it. You don't have to buy it. But I mean,
they didn't say that.
Opinion.
But they didn't say that. They said they don't need everyone to go out and buy an Xbox console because that's not where their business model is. It's not in the hardware.
And I am somebody, and they told me not to buy it, so I'm obliging them. I'm doing what they tell me. I'm doing what Uncle Phil
dude. You're too old. You're too old to be saying this.
Look,
I'm not taking you seriously. I know you're trolling. You must be trolling because a man your age. You've been on the earth too long to be saying this shit.
Well, they told me not to buy the console, so
since when did you ever listen? Since when did you ever?
I haven't. Well, when somebody tells you not to go, and
this must be the first time then.
No, but they told me not to go.
Y'all trip. That's all I gotta say. Y'all trip.
Yeah, I mean,
listen, I'm buying. You know what? I'm buying the X. I'm not gonna bother upgrading my PC. I've already got a capable enough PC. I'm not gonna go and spend 600 quid just to get it to an Xbox Series X spec so I can play Xbox games anyway. That makes
sense. That makes sense if you're going to invest in their ecosystem. Like I told the gentleman today, if you believe in their first party, buy that console because they have said nothing specific is coming for that console for 2 years. And that for me, I'm like, well, I'll check you in 2 years. You know, I will. I'll check. It's like somebody giving me a nice bottle of bourbon and they say let it rest for 2 years. Don't drink it.
Yeah, but you know what? It also depends what you care about. I mean, if you really care about modded game, absolutely have to play as Thor in Grand Theft Auto 5, then yeah, maybe the PC's the better place to go. You know, if you want to do spreadsheets and Excel and write love letters to your girlfriend who lives 5,000 miles away from you, maybe you should get a PC. But if all you want to play is fucking games and upload the odd YouTube video, maybe get a console.
Yep.
Well, again, and what will be, in the words of a great Xbox YouTuber, you can still go out and buy the Xbox X and still experience the same games. Just maybe with maybe there'll be a little mustard on their hot dog for the Series X.
All right.
And that's it.
Let's move on.
Let's move on.
Y'all are funny. Let me move on this topic.
Plus, you have 2 super chats from
I got him. Shout out to everybody. Appreciate y'all. 400 people in here. Hit that like button. Hope you guys enjoy
hit the like button.
The show. Shout out to Vedger, 119 SEK. In 2012, console gaming was dead, according to Gaming Analytics. That's why Pro and X was 2 afterthoughts. This generation should be set and done. If not, then you really don't, or you really have no insight into it. That's what he says. Quinn Maris.
What's that? Say that again. I missed that one.
Yeah, did I cut up? Oh, I'm sorry.
What's about the insight? Who has no insight?
No, he just said that. I don't know who he's referring to. But
do you want to read that chat again? Give him his value for money. Go on. He did give you 12 flops.
In 2012, console gaming was dead, according to Gaming Analytics. That's why Pro and X was 2 afterthoughts. This generation should be set and done. If not, then you really have no insight into it. That's what he said. Quinn Maurice Muzzy the Great TM. And PR Mex 1993. Shout out to you guys for subscribing. Perfect Image, $2 super chat. He said that's why we should care about GPUs. I guess he says. That's what he says. Oh, that's what we should care about. GPU backs and pat. That's what he said. He put guys in front of me. Wait, what?
Sorry, I didn't get any of that. That's why I should care about what?
He said that's why we should care about GPU and backers and pat. That's what he said.
But did you say gays as well?
No, he said guys in the front.
Go guys.
he put guys in front of his
after
super
you
chat.
stopped talking, I thought you.
No, he said guys in front of it. I was like, what?
He did.
He put guys.
I thought you.
Come on, there, Big Cloud. Get the dick out of your mouth.
I thought he said. You know what?
Ejecto,
I thought Big Cloud said.
He said ejecto.
You know what? I thought Big Cloud said you should care about power. That's why you should care about gays.
He did say
God.
That.
Moving on.
He's thinking about Trilla. Are you thinking about Trilla?
Foxy,
who is it thinking about Trilla? But moving on. Anyway.
Foxy, he said, Foxy, he said that. He said that, then he retracted it.
No, I did not.
Maybe you should stop talking while you're eating spaghetti, Big Cloud.
Oh, here we go. Eating spaghetti. We doing this now.
You got those noodles in your mouth.
Fuck that. Ejecto. Fuck that. Shout out to Sovereign. $5 super chat. Foxy, stop dropping so much common sense. My head hurts or my head spinning.
You know what? I'm like Kanye, man. Just too real.
You
Even
are.
Ellen won't have me on. Ellen will never have me on her podcast.
Ellen.
Foxy.
We doing this.
Just a minute, man. You are Yeezus.
No, but you know what? It's just you know what? It's not. You know what it is? It's not really common sense. It's just the truth. That's what they're doing. Microsoft. That's their model.
Yeah,
They don't care about
nothing wrong
console
with that.
sales in the way that Nintendo does, or maybe Sony. Like even Sony has said recently that it's not just about console sales.
I agree.
So-
It's not. Never has been. Yeah.
You know,
It's
I'm
only about
just repeating
Mhm.
the facts. It's that's all. People want to be in denial. Maybe I don't know because they love console.
That's what I'm doing.
manufacturers. They love the stocks of their console manufacturers, but I don't love the console manufacturer. I enjoy the experience, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. The fact is what this says here in The Verge.
Did you just say
right
The Verge
here.
Ejecto?
Well, no, it says The Verge. It says Microsoft says Xbox Series X won't have exclusive first-party games at launch.
Oh, yeah.
Ejecto, cuz, I'll come back when it has something. Like I said, it's like taking a woman out and she says, for 2 years, you're not even going to get side boob. You got to take me out for 2 years. And it's like, no, I don't have time for that.
He said side boob?
Now.
I'm done.
I need boob now. I'm not taking you out for friggin' Denny's without getting no side boob. I mean, that's just the way I roll.
No, I'm done.
But don't get me wrong. If people want to go ahead
done.
and buy it, shout out to everybody that's buying one.
Do you know? I think I actually think it's a smart move. Yeah, that Microsoft publicly said. You know, Microsoft they publicly said that we're not going to have any exclusives for
agree.
2 years. I think at first when I saw that, I thought this is terrible. This is the worst thing they could do. But then I remembered Game Pass. And that's the whole reason why they don't want to kill off the Xbox One like day one with their new Series X because they've got those Game Pass subscribers that you kill off everyone moves on and signs up and you've lost all those people in that service. So the best thing you can do is keep them hanging on saying, yeah, we're going to still drop the same games for 2 years. Don't worry. Do you know what I mean? And then you keep the Game Pass people. And by that time, in that 2 years, waiting. Microsoft are hoping they're all invested deeply into achievements and friends and the ecosystem that it's a natural progression for them to go and buy the Xbox Series X. It's a very smart move. I always rag on Microsoft because I don't really like their business practices. I'm against streaming, don't care about xCloud or any of that shit. PlayStation Now, fuck them all. Google Stadia, hey, I want to spew up and throw up all over that bold Phil Harrison. But it's a clever business move.
Mm-hmm.
I
agree.
You got to hand it. You can't deny them that. If you had a business, you'll be doing some things that some of your consumers wouldn't like because you got to think about your bottom line. Some decisions are going to upset some people, but if it's for the greater good of the company, in terms of, let's be honest, Sega's not coming back, people. So forget about a new Dreamcast. So it'd be terrible if Microsoft left the gaming space and it was just Sony and Nintendo. That would be a damn shame.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That is true.
I agree. It to me, it's like getting the menu before dinner. As a consumer, I like the fact that Microsoft said, we're not going to have anything here. There's the buildings here. There's going to be waiters and waitresses here. We ain't got no food or no beer. Sorry, we won't have it for 2 years. So you're going to be dependent on older stuff. And our first party stuff will get these, what do you want to call them, these enhanced patches. That's fine. Now, let me make this clear. That is fine. But the first company was something called Cyberpunk. I still don't even know what a Cyberpunk is, but they have announced they are supporting a Series X upgrade, which I think is fantastic. But the mere fact, once again, I'll say this real quick. The mere fact that they're dependent on third parties to do that puts them right where they are with the Xbox Scorpio, when all we heard is the beast is coming and X is going to give it to you. I'm still waiting.
It's an illusion, Craig. Basically, right? It's an illusion. Because during the 2 years of no exclusives for the Series X, meaning that the older gen Xboxes will get them too, they're not going to be showing you the older versions of the game in any press materials or promotions or trailers. You're only going to see the Xbox Series X version. That's all you're going to see, and PC, right? So it's just a smoke screen. It's like an illusion. It's like, yeah, we're not like what's the word? We're not leaving you behind. That's what Microsoft says, right? We're not no console left behind. We're not leaving you behind, but we're also not going to show the versions that you're playing either. So it's like they're waving a carrot in those people's faces. Yeah, they get to enjoy a lesser version of the game, but the rest of the world only sees the best version of the game. So it doesn't look like those old machines are holding back the new ones, because you'll never see the older machine's version.
Right.
Yeah, I agree.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense. I mean, like, shit, look at Destiny back in the day on the Xbox 360 and compared to the Xbox One. It was night and day.
It was?
Yeah, the Xbox 360 version was and the Xbox One version was slightly better than the 360 version.
Well, let's move it on.
It's the same with Call of Duty. I think Black Ops 3. The Xbox 360 version only had the multiplayer mode, where the Xbox One version had the campaign and the multiplayer.
Well, I think your problem was that it was Black Ops 3. There you go. That right there is your problem.
In fact, I'd go as far as to say that every PlayStation gamer should thank Microsoft for PS4. Because if it wasn't for Microsoft's Xbox 360, God knows what Sony would have released instead of the PS4. If they hadn't been taught a lesson about investing in alien hardware that nobody can program, all right? If they didn't have that heat from Microsoft's easier to use 360, we don't know if Sony would have gone down this route where it's easier to make games and cheaper for developers with the AMD PC architecture. Who knows? They could still be invested in proprietary hardware that costs so much money, and only the best studios can make games, and everyone else go to hell.
Yeah.
Good point.
So you should thank Microsoft, because Sony made a lot of changes from Microsoft's involvement and input in the industry.
Yeah. Good point.
And they had this wonderful flight sim game coming too.
Yeah. Before I move to
thank Mark Cerny too, of course, because he's the bugger behind the architecture. But you wouldn't have a Mark Cerny if there wasn't a Microsoft. Believe me, they hired Mark Cerny because of Microsoft. Remember that.
Yeah, to get them back in the game.
All right, so we're going to jump to this other topic here. Shout out to Vedger again. I see you, brother. Another 119 SEK. By analytics data, console gaming was dead with Xbox One and PS4. This was the thing that made Pro and X two afterthoughts. PS4 is the most successful console ever, so Pro and X should not be repeated. That's what he said. Shout out to Kerr by Nation for subscribing, and EG Ed for following the channel. Appreciate it.
Who does? I mean, I'll put my cards on the table right now. I don't agree with that. That there shouldn't be a Pro models this gen, because think about it. In terms of being a content provider or somebody on a podcast, having a good old chinwag, chopping it up, talking about game consoles and nipples. Talk about nipples. If we didn't have the mid-gen cycle, we'd have to wait damn near 7 years to talk about another console release. Yeah. So it does bring food to the table.
It could happen, but it just happened in different ways. I personally, when I read it, I don't think PS4 Pro day one. I honestly don't. Or PS5 Pro day one. I would say.
No, I'm not talking about day one. I'm talking about mid-gen.
Oh, it's mid-gen.
If we didn't have it this gen, it would have been a long-ass wait for excitement. Because, be honest, whether you bought into the Pro or the Xbox One X, their launches were exciting. It was something to talk about.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Remember the PS3 era? How 8 years long waiting for a new gen because of the economy, because of the banking crisis around the world, right? We had a long, elongated generation with the PS3 and Xbox 360. And yeah, it was a good times. I'm not complaining, but there was nothing new in terms of hardware to talk about for nearly 10 years.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Good point.
So we do need these mid-gen. We do need or even a new player in the market. It doesn't have to be a mid-gen, just a new console coming out. You do need like disruption. It's called disruption. That's what these business people call it. You need a disruptor because otherwise it stagnates and gets boring. Long wait.
Yeah. Good point. Good point indeed. Let me get these quick ones out the way. These quick little topics. These are simple. So Horizon resurfaced for PC. Now, Amazon France listed the PC version of Horizon, and then they quickly removed it super fast before people could talk about it. So I guess this means that it's still on the table. It's still happening at this point. We're just waiting for official confirmation about the game. How y'all feel about this whole Horizon thing? Me personally, I don't really care that it's going to PC.
I don't care.
Wasn't it supposed to come in February?
It was
February is dead after tomorrow.
Pretty much, yeah.
It better be announced tomorrow, or there's some liars out there.
Listen, I don't care because I already played it, beat it. If the PC community wants to let him play it.
Okay.
I hope they have fun with it.
All right. What about you, Craig? What you think about it?
Oh, I'm sorry to step away. They're gonna come in and bug spray my apartment here in about another 15. So
don't lie.
Dip
Don't
off
lie.
here.
You saw some side boob.
No. They're late.
But
They're supposed to be
did you
here
hear
around
about
12.
Horizon? Supposedly, it was listed on where am I at? It was listed on the Amazon France list for the PC version was listed there, and then they quickly removed it before anybody really said anything.
Well, again, I'll simply say this. This is why I say it's not, and because again, with me covering like movies and stuff like that, nothing's official until the main company says it. I mean, there can be all kind of rumors. Like right now, there's everybody saying that it's John Krasinski. I hope I'm saying his name right. Is going to be in Fantastic Four. He's going to play Reed Richards. Now he's openly lobbying for the part. I mean, he's on, he's doing shows, but there's been no official announcement from Disney, the people who own the character now. So it's not true until they say it. So look, I mean, the Horizon is available on PC through PS Now. It will be till what, like April. So maybe there's an announcement then. But until then, you just everybody has to. Oh, did they announce it today? Is it coming out on PC?
No, there was no announcement. It was just listed on the.
Oh, okay. That's it.
How
you cut up, Fox? What'd you say?
How old is Horizon Zero Dawn? Is it like?
It's 3 years today.
3 years.
It's 3 years today. I had a 3-year-old.
So who?
I mean, honestly, it's not. It's not
old.
a big thing.
It's old.
Yeah. Well, again,
if you haven't played it now, you were never gonna play it. So have it.
That's what I was saying. Is that if it's 3 years old and it's not that big a deal. And if Sony and Guerrilla make an official announcement, there you go. But that site said Bloodborne.
Let them get on Steam, the old codgers.
Yeah, the Bloodborne. Bloodborne came out on that same site about 5 years ago. They were wrong about that. What you have, look, there's a group of people in the community. They don't like the fact that Xbox is putting their games on PC. They don't like it. So they're out there screaming, making stuff up. And that's why I always say to people, just wait for Sony and or Guerrilla or both to make a joint statement about their games. All of them.
Listen, I don't care, man. Listen, if the proceeds go towards even more exclusive development and then it goes on PC 3 years after that again, I don't think I'll lose any sleep, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't see the big deal. I don't see the big deal. Play it. It's old. It's like it didn't come out day and date, did it? Even if it was a year later, it wouldn't bother. I think it would bother me if it was under a year.
Yeah, true. That make you look at it a little.
It might bother me if it was under a year, because then I'd think, this console's becoming irrelevant.
Yeah, maybe they announce it tomorrow, because tomorrow is the 29th. It's leap year. So
but I don't understand. It's on PlayStation Now. 7. So if you release it for sale, who's buying it if they can get it on streaming? I don't think they're going to release them while it's streaming.
Yeah, I agree.
Good
I
point.
agree. I
Yeah,
would have thought that they would at least wait till it came off of streaming. But
Yeah, because you're going to lose sales because some people don't care about 720p, especially if they're on a laptop.
Good
Correct.
point. Good point. Good point. Another topic here. This is for courtesy. What's this from? This is Facebook. Facebook acquired Senzaro Games. The last
Who are
game
they?
they actually are the responsible for the last Sly Cooper. They made the last Sly Cooper game, and now they were purchased by Facebook.
So who had them before?
Who had
Who had-
Sly Cooper?
So you
Cesaro?
said Sly Cooper is a PlayStation published game, right? Sony
Yeah.
kept. So who were they under before? Were they always independent?
I think they
Like,
were
did
independent because I think they were.
They were independent.
Yeah, they were independent.
Well,
They're now purchased
Just
by.
good for Facebook. What are they going to do? Make VR games?
Yeah, they're going to make a VR game, so we might
Oh, it's
see
VR. It's
They're
straight
going
VR.
to be VR games, and it's going to be
Low
for the
budget.
it's going to be for the Oculus. So we might
Low
see the
budget
next.
game.
So you
A
might
puzzle
see the
game.
next. Right. You might see the next Sly Cooper on Oculus VR.
Nah, it'll be puzzle games, low budget puzzle games in VR.
Let's see. Did you see that new Samurai Jack game? What?
Bought them? Who bought them? Who bought them?
Facebook.
Yeah, definitely puzzle games.
All
Facebook
right.
ain't really. They're not serious about gaming, man.
I mean, well,
If they
yeah,
were,
not
if
really
they
going-
were,
they're not
Microsoft.
really
Listen,
doing
let me tell you
everything.
something. Facebook is so big. If they were really serious about gaming, you wouldn't be talking about PS5. They'd just wipe them all off.
Oh, they bought
Trust
the
me.
dev that made Beat Saber. That's what someone
Yes.
just told me in the
Yeah,
chat.
but that's not the most prolific developer on the planet, though, is it? I mean, no one's gonna be. If it was Naughty, like, oh fuck me, they bought Naughty Dog, but you're telling me about Beat Saber?
Beat
Okay.
Saber's quite popular. It's one of the top games for VR. Still is. No matter which version you get, it's top for them. Let me see.
Nobody's gonna lose any sleep over that.
Yeah. Let me get into this Uncharted talk, people. Uncharted's future. Neil Druckmann admits that he is open to another Uncharted game, which is interesting considering that Sony is building a new development team to work with a major Sony studio. Could this be the unannounced Naughty Dog project? A new Uncharted. What y'all think?
I'm down for another Uncharted adventure.
You think
I
some
think they should give
spin-offs?
Uncharted a break, man.
No spin-offs? None? You wanted a break?
Nah, leave it alone for a while, man. Don't milk it. Like, let's have one towards the end of the PS5's generation. Don't need one this early. Like, we just come off of what's that last one, the Lost Legacy.
Lost Legacy.
That's
I
been a
don't
while
want them to
though.
overdo it. Yeah, but it's still fresh. It's still fresh,
I
man.
don't know.
No.
I wouldn't
Still
mind
a
to see it.
fresh game.
I think me and Ryan talked about. I wouldn't mind to see another Uncharted game with Chloe.
yet.
And,
I
and-
worry about fatigue. Like too many gears.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
How
Yeah, I
many
see.
Halos are there? There's like 11 Halos.
well,
Uh-oh.
No, there is. If you
No,
count
I-
all of the
I
Halos
know.
spin-offs,
I
there's
agree.
11 Halos, right?
Yeah.
I
It's
agree,
like,
but I mean,
you got to worry. Unless you change it up drastically, you're gonna have to worry about fatigue. Like I'm fatiguing with gears. Like I really want them to do something like what God of War did. They took the whole perspective and changed it.
Hmm.
Like it became an in-your-face kind of game. God of War. Do you know what I mean? Instead of a top-down, action, slash 'em up, it became a visceral game that you're properly in this experience. They need to do
Ah.
that with gears. They need to change. Like, just change the perspective slightly because it looks the same. It might look like it's tied up with better visuals, but when you really break it down and you remove all that eye candy, no different
it's
in
just
structure to the 360 original version.
right.
Okay. Let's see here. Square Enix comments on exclusives. So Square Enix confirms that there will be no exclusive next-gen titles from them, which pretty much adds fuel to the fire that cross-gen games will be the norm until at least 2 years of the PS5 and Series X. So Yeah, that's pretty much, they confirmed that they're not going to be doing any PS5 or Series X exclusives right out the gate.
Right.
Who? Square?
Square Enix.
Square
yeah.
Enix.
They're not going
Well,
to
they take 10 years to release games anyway. Who gives a fuck?
I mean, plus you gotta think they're gonna be like solely focused on Final Fantasy VII. Getting
Their
Part
games
two.
won't even be ready for the mid-gen of those console launches. Forget 2 years.
Let me get into this right here. I know a lot of people keep hitting me up. I saw a lot of comments for this, so I'm here, guys. I'm finally here. PS5 reveal March 3rd. Let's see. In a recent Giant Bomb podcast 2 days ago, one member appeared to had let slip they already had received invites to the official PS5 reveal and that it was March 3rd. Ironically, yesterday there was a post on Ps5 that stated that we were going to get an announcement yesterday for the reveal. However, nothing happened. What's you guys' thoughts on this? Now, again, we got nothing yesterday, and there was a lot of dudes making a lot of claims about this. Listen, man, I sat back and waited. I didn't really hear nothing.
I ain't worried about
an article for it. Yeah, and I asked you, DualShock, because DualShock didn't even say a word on it either.
I
We'll
ain't
get
worried
more
about
information in March.
Yeah,
I ain't
that's
worried
why
about it. I
kind
ain't
of
losing
figured
sleep
it was
over it.
March.
It will be March.
I figure PS5 will show it when they're ready.
I don't know about the reveal, but the next bit of information we get will be in March.
Yeah, I can see that for sure. Everybody, February is just like, nah, I don't see nothing for February. There was no indication.
There's only
February
one
is
day
dead,
left
man.
in February, man.
You know what? February is like an old age citizen. It's on its way out.
Oh, look
left,
who
bro.
invaded the chat. What's up, Blaze?
Yeah, you guys needed a little more clout, so I jumped in.
Oh, look, 6ix9ine in the place, you snitch motherfucker, you.
6ix9ine. Yo, you know when Horizon's coming out though? Seriously? April 1st. Suckers.
What? What, on the PC?
Yeah, April 1st, that's when it's coming out.
I hope they enjoy it.
You know why?
Why?
April 1st is April Fool's, bro.
Oh.
Hey, take
I like how Salty was the first one that caught on to this shit. Salty, you funny. I like this shit.
Hey,
man, this guy brought a whole new dynamic because no one was. I in my mind, April Fools don't even exist until people start talking about it.
Yeah, facts.
Hey, like Craig Tech guy says, take this with a grain of salt. Horizon Zero Dawn's also going to be on Nintendo Switch.
It's funny. I talked to Blaze about this. Did we talk about this like yesterday, Blaze? About that whole Ps5 post about them doing an event to yesterday. It was like we both were sitting back like, well, we got 5 minutes. Let's see. Okay, nothing happened. Everybody just went back to game and nothing was posted. So, again.
But this isn't good for your health, though, is it? You're always on edge. Every rumor. Oh, it's today. On edge. Oh, it's not today. Another disappointment. I'm going to kill myself.
Blaze, you might want to look into this, bro. Wireless charging accessory patent was recently filed. Now, you guys already know, everybody talks about the battery life for, I'm guessing this is for DualShock 4 or maybe PS5. This is more like the DualShock 5. But everybody talks about battery life and how long these controllers last. Courtesy of this patent, this particular attachment kind of snaps on the back of the controller. Very similar to how the button attachment does, Blaze, like on the bottom of the controller. It snaps on the back of it, and you can actually charge the controller, while still playing your games and not have to worry about your battery at all. This is what's going around.
It must be some sort of proprietary thing because they have shit like that already.
This is more of a quicker one from what I'm looking at here. This is their own
DualShock 5 has to improve the battery life. It just has to. It's pretty bad.
Yeah, so that's what
it will. The light bar's gone for one.
Are they getting rid of the light bar?
Yeah, that's gone, man.
I feel like they'll have some sort of a communication.
They don't need it anymore, man. They don't need it anymore.
I thought you need the light bar.
The touchpad.
Yeah, but they might have some sort of communication that
there'll be something else that interacts with the camera. Yeah, but it won't be the same big patch of a blue, red, yellow.
I thought that's the main reason why the light bar was there, for the VR purpose.
Yeah, but you can make it. You can. Technology's moved on since then. You can make that much smaller. Yeah. You can make that a little dot now. Doesn't have to be so big and obtrusive.
People give shit
the touchpad
to Sony about
I don't understand what's the point of the touchpad now, too, because it wasn't never really fully used.
No, you need the touchpad for the back compat, so you can't get rid of that.
Good point. Yeah, good point.
Right.
A lot of games use that touch.
Killzone was really the one that utilized it the most. Like I never used it more than Killzone Shadowfall.
I see Infamous.
But a lot of menus, you can
see
use it
play
in
Infamous?
menus. You know, like
Yeah,
the
I
map.
love it. It's a great
Infamous.
menu
Infamous
button,
used
bro.
it pretty
Perfect.
good too. That was the big.
Yeah, Infamous as well. You're right. The early games. So yeah.
Yeah, early.
But what I'm saying is, people laughed at Sony with the whole, you know, what do they call them? The I don't want to call them dildo sticks, whatever. I just did. You know, so they laughed at that. But what they did was, how can we save money? Use something that we have and we know people currently have at their house.
Repurposed it.
There you go. And it works. It works, dude. It's not perfect, but it works really well.
It looks like two maracas lighting up.
Yeah, the shakers. Yeah. Move controllers. God, I don't know why I couldn't think of that. I don't know why I started. See, I'm thinking of
they're
other
so
shit.
irrelevant. Like nobody really talks about them.
I'm surprised they didn't make a jerk me off game when you put them controllers.
They did that with didn't they do that with the Wii?
Right.
Yeah, you just
Wii
jerk off. You could jerk off the quickest. Go on, shake it.
I mean,
Shake your move controller.
They're talking about Microsoft and the top is gonna have RGB. Yo, Sony was forward thinking. We got RGB controllers, dog. Come on.
Sony's God, baby. Oh, God.
But anyway, Horizon comes to
Sony's
PS5.
got features though. Sony's got features that Xbox Series X won't have.
Yeah, I'm about to read one right here. According to this, PS5's DualShock 5 patent. Biofeedback. The controller can detect your heart rate and even your sweat.
Why?
Exactly.
You know that's cheap. You know that technology's cheap. That's not even expensive to include in a controller.
Okay, but
all
why?
it is sensors. It's only sensors in the triggers.
Yeah.
And under the pad. You know when you hold the pad, your hands get sweaty. But the problem is, no matter what game you play, your hands get sweaty anyway. After a while.
Do that.
You notice when your friend hands you the controller, it's wet and warm.
Do y'all remember the disaster that was 6-axis though? I'm gonna be honest with you. I did not understand that shit at all. I remember they made that like the only way to play Lair. Y'all remember that game, Lair? That was the only way to control the dragon. You had to move.
Sony was
they patched it. They patched it.
I know they patched it. Look, it's not even the same now. Yeah, I know it's not the same now with that.
You can use the stick now, but to be honest, I never played that tripe.
Oh,
right.
Dude, that shit. I actually
I can't believe PlayStation released
like,
with no rumble. Like
you know that was
true. It had no rumble too. Yeah, it had no.
Do you remember Star Wars on the GameCube?
Mm-hmm.
Which
remember
one?
how wonderful that looked? The Star Wars games.
Oh yeah, they all played great.
Right, that was made by a German developer called Factor 5. Yeah, those are the same developers that Sony used to make Lair. And you look at the GameCube graphics and games that they made on the GameCube, and compare it to Lair. Wonder if they were sleeping while they were coding that game, because it's terrible. Lair is a piece of shit, and it's got nothing to do with the developer. It must be the project was just bad, because the developer is great. Factor 5, they made those Star Wars games on the GameCube, and everyone said that those games look just like scenes from the movie back in the day.
Yeah, this generation's kind of what have they done for me now type. That's why they don't appreciate anything.
Well, if they delay next gen till 2021 because of coronavirus,
I'd be down. I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm good, bro. Just put out the games. The games
Right.
that they've been showing off, drop them. Who cares?
I mean, shit. We got
Wipeout had a trophy they made you use 6-axis. Oh, jeez, that shit was terrible. I didn't understand that shit. What they were thinking with that. For you to make a game dedicated only to 6-axis was ridiculous. That's all I got.
what got me was when they first launched the PS3, the controllers had no rumble. So you know how hard that was for me, because I came off the PS2 with the DualShock 2 and already got used to the rumble in that controller. And then I'm buying this PS3 with no rumble. And then the Xbox 360 I bought has rumble.
Yeah.
That was a horrible. It certainly had to quickly change it. I think they came out of this bullshit about they couldn't have rumble and the gyro in the same unit because it messed up the gyro. Well, fucking get rid of the gyro.
The gyroscope. Nobody.
No,
I want the fucking rumble.
Yeah.
That was actually, they were in a patent war. It was something.
See, I knew it was a lie. It was a big lie.
Yeah.
See,
they did it for cost.
Sony
I think it
used
was
to
for
lie
cost.
a lot back.
I honestly think
back
it was
then,
for cost.
Sony used to lie every week. They used to lie. Remember all them trailers they showed back in 2005?
Yeah.
Hardly any of it was actual PS3 footage.
Killzone 2 was so.
True.
Sony used to be the biggest liars, man. They changed.
They were the
they changed.
Ubisofts of the.
Bro, it was like only
current,
two games I appreciated at the start of the PS3 when with that whole no rumble shit. And that was Metal Gear Solid, Guns of the Patriots, and fucking Resistance 1. That was it. And Resistance 1, despite being good, I ain't gonna lie, it would have been much more better if it had fucking rumble and the fucking triggers. I'm just saying.
Exactly. He wants to move their fucking hands
Like,
around. Give me the
Yeah,
rumble.
it's fucking crazy. Give me fucking rumble. Hell, even you remember? I don't know. You played Metal Gear Solid 4. You remember the circle, the little ring
what?
that used to be around the character when you got around in Metal Gear Solid 4?
What's that?
You don't remember the circle that was around like Snake when you had to sneak around? It was like to detect the footsteps of the enemies back when the controller didn't have rumble.
No.
That's yeah. It's like the meter.
It was the meter. It was like a little circle that was around your character.
When?
And, like,
On what console
Metal Gear
was that?
Solid and on PS3, Metal Gear Solid 4.
I don't remember that.
You don't remember
I played
that
it
back
with
with
rumble.
the when it didn't have 6 axes? Because remember they fixed that when they added 6
Nah,
axes.
nah.
Well, they patched it in.
Nah,
Then.
They patched it in.
They,
Yeah. It didn't. It
they
didn't have
released. I'm sure they released a rumble controller before Metal Gear Solid 4 was released. Because I always remember
it came
rumble
later.
in the game.
It came later because they patched it in.
You sure?
I'm sure because remember that's when they added trophy support to it.
Wow. All right,
Yeah.
I'll take your word for it. But I
It was
don't
the threat
remember.
ring. Yeah, there you go. Snake. Yeah, it was the threat ring. Yeah.
I don't remember not feeling. I bought that game day one, and I swear I always remember the rumble.
Yeah, no.
Dude.
No.
Sony, the PS3 has so many hiccups. I can't believe they made it out that bitch.
But it had Blu-ray,
Yeah, it did. and you know.
so it had exclusive
I hate to
content
be that
to
guy
Blu-ray.
though.
It's
That
like
spent
like
$1,500
like
on a Blu-ray
Xbox
player.
had Black Panther 4K.
I
exclusive.
remember buying SOCOM Confrontation, and
Oh, I
the
heard that was
servers
bad.
went down the same week.
Wow.
That killed the game, period. It was online only, by the way.
And they
Imagine spending $80
Ah.
for a headset and SOCOM
Mhm.
and the servers being off for months.
So you can't
Yo,
call in the
good
B2.
People
Shout
forget,
out
you
to
know.
Wanye in the chat. That's actually I didn't even think about that. I'm surprised Salty didn't think about that. Shout out to Wanye. He
People
said,
forget, you know, that Sony
Yeah.
wasn't always the company that you see them today. They done some terrible things as
"Oh
well.
yeah,
You know?
oh yeah." do I need to remember Ridge Racer when we didn't have shit for PS3 at the time?
No, they screwed the people over. Sony has.
Yeah.
They've done a lot of shit as well. You know, it's just Microsoft's turn this gen.
Facts.
Sony had their turn last gen. They screwed
Mhm.
up in many ways with the whole details being leaked. You know, online, the hacking.
That fucking
You know, they
Blu-ray
released
shit,
a
bro.
system. They released a system that was capable, but only if you knew how to fucking use it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like giving a homeless person fucking jumbo jet to fly. They wouldn't have the fucking clue.
Yo, Fox, you realize how arrogant they were? They said the generation don't start until we say so. Like, yo, go sell your kidney.
I remember that shit.
It's like,
Yeah,
dude, I remember
yeah,
Morgan
Blaze,
Webb
right,
was expressing her
right.
concern over the price point. Yeah, I remember back when they went to E3, they was like, Sony has one good question to answer. Is the PS3 worth it? And they were talking about the $600. Then they goes, oh, we expect people to, get 2 jobs to pay for PS3. I'm like, really?
Yeah, when they said that,
Crazy.
and these people are hurt. Even though that company said that and said what you were just talking about, Blaze, they're still butthurt when they say, "Oh, well, 1080p makes you a better gamer." Like these are the same clowns that said that you would go get a second job to get a PS3. But I didn't realize how their passage was, until they started bringing this up again. This on Monday. Over the
They were arrogant. They were really
Yeah, they
arrogant.
were.
It was
Yeah.
They
the
weren't. They? Yeah, they
arrogance of
were.
being number one.
I imagine them doing adverts saying like Oprah, "You can have a PS3, and you can have a PS3,
Yeah.
and you, but not you, because you're a bastard."
Yeah.
Yo, but that's the same thing as Microsoft saying, "Hey, if you're in the submarine, if you're in the Navy, sorry, go buy a 360." That's the same shit.
Yeah.
That's bad.
They said you have to be a slave to buy it. You have to work 2 jobs.
Yeah. I don't know. This biometric
You have to be an
feedback could
economic
be,
slave.
this biometric feedback could be referring to the VR gloves, to introduction
That's
of
true.
VR gloves. That's a good point from Wanye, though.
Yeah.
Shout out to him in the chat.
Yeah.
That might be it.
I got a feeling that Microsoft's going to have a much better generation. I mean, it won't be hard actually to have a better generation than.
Yeah, they got 15 studios,
But-
and one
but-
studio's working on 3 projects already. You just need more.
I got a feeling that they're going to deliver some shockingly good experiences
I hope
But
so.
you're still gonna have people. Yeah, but you're still gonna have haters though.
Oh yeah, that's
Oh,
that's
yeah, you're
At
always
this
a
point,
given.
at
Yeah.
this point, there's nothing that Microsoft can deliver that's
You're
gonna
always gonna
shut
have haters
certain
though.
people
They're
up.
foxy.
Yeah,
Certain
hate,
people,
hate, 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 hate,
they
hate,
could
hate.
produce the best looking game running at the highest frame rate, and there'll still be people saying, "But it's not The Last of Us Part 2."
Well, yeah,
Bro,
They had a
that's
whole
hard.
the
gym
stench
for
is
this.
so
They
bad
didn't
with
do this.
Microsoft, man.
You already know that's
The
gonna happen.
wound is so deep into the people like that, but they just don't have any confidence in them. Does Microsoft release good games? They have. Forza. You can laugh Gears, Halo, Forza, but you know what? They're quality games. But what I'm saying is the stench on their breath. It's like it don't matter how much toothpaste they got, man. It's gonna smell a little
be
bit.
right back,
You know what I
guys.
mean?
Well,
Yeah,
listen, if
well, that-
Sony can bounce back from the PS3 and all the blunders they made with that, and it was a good system, I'm not knocking it, but their execution was poor. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, they made you wait forever for games as well. On the PS3, it was a long fucking wait for some good games to come. Do you know what I
But
mean?
you said it. Good games.
They came, but it took half a generation. We didn't
Dude,
start getting
Fox, you use your PS3,
Uncharted
right?
2. Until Uncharted 2, that's when we started seeing games. But it was a
Right.
long wait for Uncharted 2. A long wait. I remember it.
Fox, I know you use your PlayStation 3 a lot. And dude, I've been using it recently. Dude, I forgot how fucking slow that shit is.
It's like waiting for the kettle to boil.
Bro, you download a game and then you gotta apply the game, and it's like it just takes forever, dude.
Dude,
But
have you
it's a
ever played it?
multimedia machine. That PS3 is a multimedia machine.
If you haven't turned it on in a while and you want to play a quick game, get ready for a long fucking update.
Yeah, I just went
It'll be
through
2
it.
hours. By the time it's updated, you'll put it away. You can't be bothered anymore.
It's true.
I don't know how we put up with it.
I
But
don't
then
know
again,
either.
then again, when I was a kid, my games were on tape cassettes. You know what I mean? So, and I waited 45 minutes to load one level on a computer on a tape cassette. So I've been through it. So the PS3 wasn't painful. It's just when you get a PS4 or a Pro, and then you look back and go back to it, then you realize, like, if I had to load a tape today to play a game, I'd probably quit gaming.
Right.
Because I'd be an old man. I'd be an old man before I finish 4 games.
But you know, back then it was kind of the norm. There was nothing that was super.
Well, you were young and a kid. You had time to kill. You didn't mind waiting a summer to load a game. But summer's a long fucking time today. Do you know what I mean?
That is true. That is true.
They should release more games in the summer, by the way.
Well, they
I really
are
think
this
they
summer.
should.
Well, I mean, they're releasing Last of Us in May, and
Like everybody wants the Christmas check bonus. Like everybody wants people to buy shit on Christmas. Like release shit in the summer where people think like, oh, everybody's outside the beach. Not really. It's too hot. People are inside in air conditioning. You know what I mean? Chilling. You know, I don't know.
well, no, I mean that's a good point, but yeah, that is what that's what the data says. The says that less people play in the summer because they're doing other things outside. Kids are in soccer leagues or baseball leagues, stuff like that during the summer, so they're not playing as much. It's not that they're not playing, but yeah, I agree with you. That they should
Does
more.
Xbox Live, is it free if you play on the PC?
Yes.
Yes.
That's disgraceful.
No, it's not.
No, it should be free.
I think it is.
If it's
I'm
free
looking
on
at it.
PC, it should be free on the console. That's an insult.
It is.
Gamer.
I was a little upset about that there, Foxy.
Really?
That's insulting. You know why I think it's insulting? Who built the base? The console gamer, and then it got handed over to PC, and they get to enjoy it. That's fucking ridiculous.
You're right, but Fox, they couldn't apply any type of paywall or.
That's why they should get rid of it on the Xbox One. They can make money other ways now. They got xCloud. They've got fucking.
Game Pass.
They can still sell you the game. They can still sell you. Like Sony's doing it, like giving games away. They can still do that, you know, and you pay every month. But the online
Games with Gold is looking trash, by the way. The last 5 months, the last year, Games with Gold is trash.
They said
they should make online play free and then still charge you $60 a year for gaming titles. For gaming titles.
But they said you don't have to buy the console. why you can't get their stuff on PC. You get
No, but isn't that disgraceful though?
It is. It is in a way.
Who funded the Xbox?
Who put this shit
It wasn't
together?
Microsoft. It was the public. They funded it by buying it and making it successful enough
I agree.
for a sequel and a threequel and a fourquel and whatever quintet of consoles they come up with.
But it won't matter now because they're going to say it's got going to pay, and they'll pay.
It's disgusting. I think I'm not saying it's disgusting that PC gamers get it free. I think it's disgusting that console gamers have to pay.
Yeah.
You make it free for the PC, it should be free for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true.
That's disgusting. I'm not happy about that.
Wow.
Microsoft used to charge for, you pay for your internet bill, then you pay for Xbox Gold, and then you pay for Netflix. It's like, are you kidding me? If you don't have Gold, you can't watch Netflix when it's free on every other platform.
You had to have Gold to turn the fucking console on. Never.
Well,
ridiculous.
They did make that free. We're on Xbox.
Yeah, they
One.
did after
a lot of people
years.
pay. Yeah. Well, yeah. I'm like Foxy said. I mean, I paid for Xbox Live, and I talked to Danny. He can sit there, from the platform podcast. He can sit there and play, these Xbox games without having Xbox Live. I'm like, get the fuck out of here, man. I said that's fucking bullshit.
That's
fucking bullshit.
They can make money now. They got plenty of services.
And you sit there and look at me like, and you sit there and look at me there, Foxy. Hashtag PC Master Race. I'm like, get the fuck out of here.
I think they'll make it free one day.
They should.
I think online play is going to be free one. There's going to be so many.
I mean,
streams opening up. They don't need to charge you for it no more.
You know what it is, Fox? It's the generation of subscriptions. I mean, there's ESPN Plus, Disney Plus, Netflix, Hulu Plus. It's like Amazon. It's like there's so many people got like 5 to 6, subscriptions nowadays. Like the norm. I read an article like the average person has 3 or more subscriptions. $5 a month, $10 a month, WWE Network. Just go down the line. It's ridiculous. It's like, come on, bro. Like, can we catch it?
Yeah, that's another thing. Like,
it can't. Look, what the problem is with sustainable, because if everybody decides that they want to, if any company that has a lot of IP under their publishing belt decides that they want to do their own streaming, like it's not going to be competitive anymore, because all the stuff it's like Disney taking all this shit away from Netflix and putting it on the Disney Plus. Yeah, they're doing it like it diminishes all the services. What it does is it creates a vacuum of all these subscription models, and in order for you to if you want
a certain show,
if you want certain stuff, you're gonna have to sign up to all of them, and that is not sustainable. So it's gonna crash. You're gonna find them out like merging back together again after a while when they realize that it's not everyone can't have their own subscription service. It doesn't work that way. The public will never have it. You'll find them merging back again. Like you'll have EA having another company come under them. Sony will take one. Netflix will end up back with Disney, or Disney will take on Netflix. But it won't. All of these can't exist at one time. It's Ubisoft's got their one. EA's got their one.
Oh my god.
Steam has their one. PlayStation has their one.
Huge bitch.
Like Microsoft has their one.
No, Steam ain't got
gonna have one. Yes, they have.
What do they got?
What's that? No, not Steam.
Nvidia.
Yeah, Nvidia has it, right? They're all gonna have it soon. All of them.
Good point.
And it's and all the stuff that you wanted, you won't find it in one place anymore. It's gonna be spread all over the gaff. It's like what is it? Remember Easter? The kids go on a hunt looking for the eggs that are hidden.
Hunt.
Do you know what I mean? You won't be able to find them in the same basket anymore. And you're going to be spending like $200 a month on all these subscription services. No, you won't be, because you're not an idiot. But I'm saying that's what they're going to expect you to do.
Origin Access Premiere, there's 2 versions of it.
There's like 12 of them out already. And Google Stadia is another one out.
No, that's just trash. You might as well do your
but it's still another subscription service.
It is. But, you know who's looking like $1 million out there? The Epic's game store. And I know I'm gonna get heat for that, but yes, I prefer Steam over Epic's is a bare bones launcher. But at the end of the day, I have 57 games that they gave me for free. All I'm doing is downloading, and these are not just trash games. Like these are like AAA games, indie games. AA games, like they're giving away everything for free. Period. And I know people, Epic gets a lot of flack, but at the end of the day, I have a full library now just by clicking download. That's it.
That's what I don't like about the PC, you know. You know what I don't like? I don't like that there's all these stores. I've got Origin. I've got fucking Steam.
There's a lot of launches.
I've got GOG. I've got too many on there. For me to play my games, I've got to load up the fucking launcher. It's all DRM, really, isn't it?
Not GOG.
A lot of it's... I mean, I noticed I couldn't play some games. When I was off for 2 weeks because I moved house. I moved to a bigger house. It's lovely, by the way. But when I was off for 2 weeks, right, offline, I tried to play certain games on my PC and it wouldn't get the launcher. Couldn't connect. It was trying to connect to the internet, or it wouldn't let me play the game unless it was authorizing me or verifying me that I'm like, that's DRM.
Yeah, that does it with my PlayStation as well, though.
No, but you can set your PlayStation to primary. So if you don't, as long as you set it to primary, it knows that all those games are on your system, belong to you. You don't need it. But on the PC, some games require an internet fucking connection.
Absolutely. No, that's
I don't like that because I noticed I couldn't play some games. Like, I had time to kill, you know, no internet. The game I wanted to play, I couldn't play. I was like, what the fuck? What are you trying to connect for? I own you, you cunt.
Buy on GOG, man. DRM free.
I was annoyed, so annoyed.
You know, that's why CD Projekt Red, man, they own GOG. That's why they're so beloved.
You go on a console, as long as you haven't shared games, like they're your games on your, and you set your console to your home, you set your console to home or primary. When you ain't got internet, all that shit is available to you. You might not be able to update the game if updates come out, but you can at least still play it.
All right.
That's the problem with digital. Digital has too many barriers. Do you know what I mean? That's why I love physical releases.
No, I'm with you. But
I can play anywhere. I can play anywhere, mate. I can play in a submarine on top of Mount Kilimanjaro. Don't need an internet connection when you got physical.
That's true.
No, I'm with you, bro. Physical.
I could be smashing the granny out of some bird. No internet in her house, but I got the disc.
But the whole launcher thing is, I used to think it was a problem. I got you. Look, I'm just gonna read you. Look, Origin, the Xbox. That means all their games you play. Steam, GOG, Epic, Blizzard. That's just what I have right now. Oh, and Bethesda launcher, because for some reason, I don't even have that trash. But the point is, it's literally a click away. It's, I used to think it was annoying, but it is annoying, yeah, I guess. But you're literally clicking a button and you're done.
Yeah, but they can't. Someone says they can take the license away on physical. Not if you're not. How are they gonna take it? Don't they have to do that by changing something on your system? Right. If they can't get to you and you can't get to them, they can't touch ya.
No, if the game is an online, if the infrastructure is built through WoWlands is not, Breakpoint is. The difference is in 10 years when the servers go down, you ain't playing Breakpoint.
You see, what a waste. You can't go back to those games like some people play NES games now from 1983 or 84 or 85. You're not going to be able to do that in 10 years. Certain games, they're dead. It's just worthless. You can't, no resale value. Nowhere to go. The game is just a piece of useless plastic. And you might have the urge. Like, people love SOCOM. I hear so many PlayStation gamers talking about SOCOM. Yeah, we need a SOCOM. Some of them are playing the old SOCOM. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Imagine that the servers were turned off. There'd be no SOCOM to play.
I'm playing. The last time I played was almost a month and a half ago on X-Link. You go to X-Link, and there's literally on a Friday, Saturday night, you can get 200 to 250 people on SOCOM 2 on a PS2.
That is true. That is true, Fonz. Physical games aren't really the same what they used to be. You kind of have a bunch of patches and.
A physical disc nowadays is literally
but think about this.
That's it.
No, but think about this.
That's a good point.
Imagine you own your games on disc, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you are someone like me who was without internet for 2 weeks. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
My game's already patched.
Yeah.
I don't have to worry about patches.
Good point. Good point.
But they can't stop me from playing it. They can't stop me from starting the game, is what I'm saying. The patches are enough. You got the patches already because you were once connected to the internet. I'm not talking about someone who never had internet. I'm talking about someone who has a library of games on their PlayStation, yeah,
Mm.
and they now have no internet. Do you know what I mean? You don't
Yeah.
care about patches. You've already got them. If you talk about new releases, then yeah, because some games are broken at launch. Like literally, you can't finish them because a quest will freeze and you can't pass it, so it needs a patch, right?
Hmm.
I agree on that point. But then, if you're clued up, you're not gonna go and buy an RPG, and you
You
got no
say,
internet
yeah,
at
but
home.
isn't that sad that a single player game needs patches today? That is, yeah.
Well, you blame the internet and you blame hard.
Yeah.
We had them games were done.
Good
Yeah,
points.
it's
Good points.
but you know, you can literally tether your phone to your
Mhm.
PS4 and unlock all your games if you really have to. Like I've had no internet and I'll just
Or you
tether
could
it.
just phone Sony and say, "Listen, Sony, sorry to disturb you. I know you're having a meeting about the reveal for PS5. Don't want to get in the way of that, but can't access my games."
Look at this guy. Hey,
Oh,
you thought
God.
you were inside, and you think I scream Sony baby for nothing, dog? They paying me, dog.
Well, all I had was one last topic, and this was involving GT Sport. Not really much, but GT Sport updates have slowed down, and pretty much since they've been slowed this year, fans speculate Gran Turismo 7, which many believe is to be a PS5 launch exclusive, is closer than we think. So that's what, because the fact
Old
that
news,
they're,
man.
yeah, because they're throwing out less patches for sports.
Old news. Old
Yeah,
news.
all news
Yeah.
kind of. But that's what I had. Shout out to first of all, shout out to everybody in the chat. I see you, Fonz, FC Violent. What's up?
Interesting fact. You know, I had when Sean Layden worked at Sony. Do you know I had his number?
Hmm.
I had his phone number. Sean
I'm
Layden.
Sean. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, but then he got a restraining order. So
By God.
I'm a fan.
Well, I
What can I
have
say?
an
I'm a
announcement.
real fan.
This
What
man
time
right
is
here.
it? What time is it in Germany or wherever?
now?
Because because
It's coming up to 1 a.m.
all right, because
Yeah.
I thought they were supposed to announce that. And shout out to everybody. It's Black History Month. We got one more day. That's right, one more day tomorrow. I'm hoping tomorrow that there's an announcement. We talked about this a bit earlier about Horizon Zero Dawn going to PC.
Oh God!
If not,
because I know you're gonna go to Twitter.
Well, no. If not, I will be busting cheeks.
Cheeks.
I mean, I will bust people's cheeks on my podcast.
All
Because
right.
all
Which
your
cheeks,
shit,
though?
you
Which
know,
cheeks are you talking? Then?
I will be
Top or bottom?
busting cheeks. I'll wait because there's a great the platform's got a wonderful interview tomorrow, so
Yeah, we're gonna
everybody can
get-
digest that and wish
Yeah.
her a happy Black History Month from the community, if you don't mind.
Oh, we
But
definitely gonna get into
come
that.
March, come March, if there's not an announcement by March 1st at 5 p.m., well, I'll make it because what time will it be in Germany if it's 5 p.m. here?
What in Germany? What 5 p.m. there? It'll be 1 a.m.
Oh, okay, well then, yeah, there will be some
No,
cheesecake
no.
bust.
It won't be. It'll be 11. It'll be 11.
All right. Well, if they don't announce something by Monday, I'll give it till Wednesday. I'm a fair man. The Messiah is fair. So what we'll do, Big Cloud? Hopefully, we get our.
But
we
that
get
doesn't
our
mean it's
one-on-one.
not coming though. If it
Well, no, I'm
doesn't,
not saying that. I'm not saying that it's not coming. I will never say
it
that.
might come
I'm
on March 31st.
Yeah, it may come tomorrow. It may come tonight at midnight Eastern
Fonz,
time. You know?
shout out to Fonz again in the chat, RDX member. He said, "Why is there a March 1st cutoff, Craig?"
It might not. It might
Because
not
it was
come at
supposed
all.
to
It
happen
might-
in February.
But
But I'll
Craig,
give it till March. Yeah, go ahead.
Craig, it might not come at all. It might just end up being a dry.
I agree. I'm giving it till Wednesday because by Wednesday, if they're going to make this announcement, or and I'm not saying they're not going to announce it. I'm making sure I'm saying that now. I'm giving it till Wednesday, but there are going to be some sore people come
Well,
Wednesday
whatever
night.
happens on March the 3rd, that is the Nintendo Switch's 3rd anniversary.
Oh well, it might happen then. They may still some
March 3rd.
All right.
Because Horizon Zero Dawn came out on February 27th, didn't it? In 2017.
Yeah,
and then
2017.
Switch launched on March 3rd, like less than a week later. I remember they came very close together. And so this is the 3rd anniversary of both titles.
Yeah. So I'm waiting. I mean, again, I was told that this game was going to go to PC in February. Now we still got one more day. So I'm being fair. So, but the people who said that this information was to be trusted, prepare to get your cheeks busted, because that means that information was wrong. And this is why
which cheeks though? Are you talking about cheeks up above or cheeks down below?
We're gonna bust cheeks, but I'll wait. I'll wait. Because we're gonna do it the easy way. Because I'm a fair man. You have 72 hours. This is if they don't do it to say, hey, look, I got this wrong. I need to wait for the main information to come out. Again, we're going to wait because for all I know, they're going to announce it tonight at midnight. Wake up tomorrow. They're like, hey, it's going.
Craig, you do realize though, if it's cheeks down below, some people might actually enjoy that.
My God, dude.
My gosh, you're right. But I'm fair. I'm giving it till next week. I'm excited about the interview tomorrow with that young lady, the platform.
Yeah, we're gonna let them do that in the outro.
The other day, I put my foot on this guy's neck. He just said, harder, harder.
Well, in the words of the Booty Warrior, we can do it the easy way, or we gonna do it the hard way. The choice is yours. And I got a feeling there's gonna be some of these clowns that need to do it the hard way. Okay, so but we're gonna wait and see. I'm fair. I mean, I'm way more than fair. I'm giving it almost a week into March. But I was told.
What if the coronavirus causes?
That could be it. That could be it too. That's fine.
Because I feel like that's what happened with Sony. I think Sony planned to do things earlier. I reckon the coronavirus has caused some problems for not just Sony, loads of companies. I mean, look at GDC. That might not even happen. And if this continues, E3 is going to be a ghost town. I read that in an email. Like, not even an email. I read it on Twitter. Someone tweeted, if this is around by the time E3 rolls around, 4 months, it's going to be a ghost town there. Well, who's going to travel? Because people come from all over the world, right? That's like lockdown, man. You don't want that.
Yeah.
All that filth in one place.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, guys, this episode was fire, man. Shout out to you guys in the chat.
How many people in there? How many people? Who stayed?
341 still right now, but we had almost, we're getting up there to 500. Shout out to every last one of you who came by.
You're getting bigger, isn't it? You're getting bigger.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Those pills are working, mate. Those pills are working.
Thank you guys so much for came through.
He's not waiting. He's not waiting 2 years for side moves.
I do got an announcement to make, though. Courtesy of you guys live from the channel for making this possible. First of all, shout out to Tech Life Channel and Captain Skid Marks for subscribing. That is officially.
That's what I'm doing to people on Wednesday.
That officially puts the channel at 6K subscribers.
Oh, let's go!
Shout out to you guys.
Wait, you're on 6K now.
Hit refresh. Yeah. Hit refresh.
Look at you, though, hey?
He's at 6K.
You, Billy Big
6K subscribers.
You want a fucking medal, hey?
No. Fucking Big Cloud's got 6 teraflops going on here.
I knew he was going to do that shit.
Big Cloud got 6 teraflops.
My gosh. Yeah.
Well,
I'm at close to 1.2, so I guess.
Damn.
I guess
Cloud, you a monster.
Yeah, I guess I'm a monster.
There you go.
Big Cloud, make the announcement for our one-on-one. So I may.
We want to do it Saturday or Sunday?
Busting cheeks.
Well, let me add this at the end.
Let's wait till next week because I don't want to.
Let me add this at the end. In terms of a PS5 information, March is on lock, and apparently, as my tweet suggested, it's going to be absolutely worth the wait. Sony knows you've been waiting like good little soldiers. Don't worry, you'll soon get your boots.
Okay. Shout out to Gib for subscribing. We got another one.
Microsoft's got all the buying share right now, which is good because they haven't had it. So,
I don't know what that is.
But when Sony drops their information, I guarantee you, no one's going to be talking about the Xbox Series X while that news drops. It's gonna be like it didn't happen. I'm not saying like to diss it. I'm saying for that period of time, Sony going to get all the mind share back again, and every tweet
this is breaking
about PS5.
This is breaking.
Shout out to
Polygon
Jesus
has
Pinnock for
announced.
subscribing as well.
Polygon
Appreciate
has
it, brother.
announced that
Yeah, because
GDC
Sony not gonna-
2020 has been postponed.
Sony not just gonna talk about specifications and shit. Sony gonna announce big things. Remember I said about acquisitions?
Yes,
You've
you
already
did.
heard about 3 acquisitions from a different person who decided they want to talk about it early. They mentioned Kojima Productions. They mentioned Housemark.
Mhm.
What was the other one? What was the other one? There was
I don't
another one.
remember.
When there's 3 of them.
But GDC's been canceled.
Housemark,
official.
Kojima
Remedy,
Productions was the one that we were told.
Remedy, right?
Remedy.
Remedy.
Yeah.
So that came from someone else. So we'll see. Because I only mentioned 1. I only said 1 acquisition, 1, but 3 have been mentioned since then. Okay, so we shall see. We shall see. Now,
Wait,
unfortunately,
GDC's been canceled?
you know what? My only
Yeah.
mistake. My only
Yeah.
mistake.
It's all on the
was-
internet, dude.
What? It's cancelled.
They canceled GDC?
Yeah, GDC is officially postponed until summer now.
Oh,
Fuck, I jinxed
wow.
it. Sorry,
Wow.
I jinxed it. I didn't know. I would have kept my mouth shut. I'm sorry.
He said,
Blame
"I'm
me. You
sorry."
need someone to blame. Blame me. No, but here's the deal. Here's the deal. With the only thing the whole soon thing. You know when I said soon, announcement soon. I feel like this coronavirus is a fucking.
It's really.
I mean,
putting a
don't get me
wrench in a
wrong.
lot of
It's,
plans.
don't get me wrong. I'm more concerned with human lives. But if we're going to talk about, that aside, because that's important. But there's other aspects as well. It affects the living also, not just the people who are dying. But a lot of things are going to happen. Like it's not just consoles. Like movies are already being delayed, and a lot of stuff, a lot of distribution and logistics around the world, especially that region of the world. A lot of stuff is not going to come in. You're going to have shortages of stuff. It just happens. That's why it's having an effect on the stock market, because commerce is affected, obviously. And Sony are wise to not go to these events, knowing that they got offices all over the world. So why get all these people to spread their filth amongst each other? This corona nonsense.
Yeah.
And just, what's the point there's no point making a risk, is there? It's a pandemic now.
Unless a lot of people were suggesting, I talked to Benji Sales, shout out to Salty Gaming. We talked to him yesterday. He said that, maybe they should do a state of play, maybe, for info.
They don't need to do that. They just had a major drop. This is my opinion. 6 weeks ago at CES, they had a major information drop. And that guy with the bad hair walked out there and mentioned games like Final Fantasy VII. He mentioned The Last of Us Part 2, and he mentioned Ghost of Tsushima. So again, the PS5 is coming, but so are these marvelous games that they have marketing deals with and exclusivity to. That's the priority, not something that may or may not come out in at the end of this year. I mean, it's just not their priority.
Most of them are going to be assembled in China at the Foxconn plant. That's their biggest manufacturer. So if this thing doesn't go away, this is a 2020 bug.
Their face is going to be tired. Like
let's just say if it does launch, a lot of countries won't get it. It's going to be it's going to be confined to certain regions only and in limited, because there's no way that the Taiwan plant and some plants that they got in Europe can manage the inventory for the world. It's because that Foxconn is the biggest that they've got. All of them. Microsoft use them. All of the companies use them. Samsung, a lot of them use them, right?
Yeah.
So if we got this coronavirus isn't 2020 a load of shit?
It's not for me. I gotta play Neo and Predator.
No, I mean for the world. I mean,
just for the world. It's fun.
Oh yeah.
Think about what's happened since January. Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
Impeachment. Coronavirus. We got fucking a new prime minister that nobody likes called Boris Johnson. Do you know what I mean? There's a lot of shit going on in the world, man. We had war nearly going on between Iran and fucking America. Do you know what I mean? England would have had some of that.
No McRib at McDonald's. McRib not coming back.
Exactly. Do you know what I mean? Like, think about it. There was a shooting in. Wasn't there just a shooting?
Yeah,
in Minnesota, right? There was just a shooting, right?
Yeah. I agree.
2020's really kicked off right with a real fucking piece of shit, isn't it? Let's be honest.
Yeah, it's not good, and we got a console out with no games for 2 years.
We've had a horrible 2 months. The
Yeah.
world has had a horrible 2 months already. Some people are okay, like those isolated people who, you know, don't have to worry about money or working or getting up in the morning. Yeah, they're fine. We're talking about the world. The world.
The platform's got a great interview tomorrow. Ended on.
So
plug that. Go ahead, Big Mike.
Look like he's so hyped for us. That's why he keeps breaking it. He mentioned like 40 times.
I know he is so excited, Craig.
Know, but no, go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, I got a little.
We're gonna shut it down.
And what about the forest fires in Australia? You know what I mean? All those poor koala bears and people that lost their homes.
Yeah, they got roasted. Literally.
Do you know what I mean? Like this, it's not been a good start to the year, man. We're only in the second. We're going into the 3rd month. All this bullshit has happened.
Yeah, that's all right. There may be some cheeks getting busted next week, so we.
I thought we could have 1 year off. You know.
Yeah.
You know, 1 year of no worldwide disaster. Do you know what I mean? Just 1 year. Fuck it, man. 1 year. I'm not asking for much.
Facts. Well, thank you guys. So again, thank you guys so very, very much. You came through. Hit that like button, man. 300 plus still up in there. Hit that like button. It is.
Let Big Mike plug that interview. Tell him who
but
you
also,
got me.
I'm about to do it. God damn it, I keep mentioning it.
We'll let Big Cloud do it. Big Cloud, hit him with that.
But anyway, check out the Platform Podcast. They're part of the RGT. They're mods, but they're also a good friend to us as well. You need to check them out tomorrow. The one and only Trilla from Jedi Fallen Order. That's right. That chick. They have an interview with her tomorrow. So
Elizabeth Rulon.
And they're going to get her to say White Zaddy. Let's see if they can get her.
I need to check that out tomorrow. That's going to be live on the Platform Podcast. Go ahead,
It's going to be exciting. Yeah, we're going to have Elizabeth Rulon on the Platform Podcast tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific. She is the voice actress for Trilla Siduri. And it's going to be fucking amazing. So I would love to see the 200 people that's in this chat come over to the Platform Live tomorrow and just show your support.
I'll be there. But you got to, if you can get her to say White Zaddy, I'll be on.
I'll see what I can do. I'll see if I can get her to say White Zaddy in the community.
Yeah.
Oh God, y'all stupid. All right, Blaze, you back yet? Is Blaze still here? I think he stepped away.
He's still here.
He stepped away. All right, so.
I need to ask Blaze I need to ask him a PC question. If he's still here in Discord, I want to ask him something real quick about.
I think he stepped away. He stepped away from the PC. And just go ahead. You do your outro, Craig.
Oh yeah, thanks for having me. It's a great time, and enjoy your games, people. You know, I did a podcast earlier. Some things you can do to help build up your immune system against the flu season, and just pray for the families that have been affected. And it's no joke. This thing is a global pandemic at this point, and so yeah, just keep listening and we'll keep streaming and talking gaming with you guys. But remember, play the games or the terrorists win.
All right, absolutely. Mr. Fox, welcome back, my brother. It's good to see you as always, man.
Good to be back, man. Good to be back. As you can tell, I haven't lost my charm. All my good etiquette, my great use of the English language. Yeah, listen, this Corona thing, don't worry. Don't pussy out. Don't go out there with a mask on. Just face the world. You know, keep your distance from people, but don't feel like you have to stay in your man cave or your woman cave. Do you know what I mean? Go out there. Live, because let me tell you something. If death comes for you, there's no place you can hide. So you might as well just live your lives. Live it, enjoy it. Just love you. Get on with people. If you've fallen out with anyone in your family, if they're worth talking to, make up with them, because you know there's a lot of bullshit going on in this world, and there's no point. Just make peace, not war.
Absolutely.
Right.
Good point. Shout out to Carlos.
And play games, not corporations. Forgot about that one.
All right. Let's say you forgot your signature. Shout out
Been
to
away
Carlos
too long,
Fernandez. Oh yeah, I know. You'll be back though. It's all good.
I probably forgot how to. You'd have to show me how to do fucking set up. You know, the stream again.
Oh yeah,
I've forgotten how to.
I got you.
What's it called? I don't even remember the name of it. What's it called?
I think it was called OBS.
Yeah, OBS. There you go. OBS. Obi-Wan Kenobi.
There you go. Shout out to our brother Carlos Fernandez. He couldn't make it today. He really wanted to be here, but he's here. He's with family. But shout out to him. Gamer by choice, not by trend. That's what he would usually say. So shout out to my brother. Obviously, shout out to Blaze. Sony's God. That's what he would say. And of course, I'm Big Cloud Gaming. AK Ryan. You already know. Appreciate you guys coming through again. Appreciate it. I do always, man. Every Friday, man. You guys are awesome, and thank you guys so much for the new milestone.
Before you go, before you go, we going live yet? When does it start? When does the podcast
the
start?
platform?
We going live yet?
For a platform?
Are we live now?
We're still live.
Yeah.
What? What you mean we've been live all this time?
Oh, God,
When you tell me
stop.
the podcast has started.
Not
really.
Stop. Anyway, shout out to you guys again for everything, and especially the new milestone of 6,000 subscribers. Couldn't get here without you guys. Thank you guys so much.
No, congrats, man. Well done, man. Well done.
Thank you.
You deserve it.
Thank you. I do appreciate it.
You deserve to have the same amount of fucking T-flops as an Xbox One X.
That's the new saying, guys. Big Cloud Gaming.
Change your channel name to that. Change your channel name to Big Cloud X.
There you go. The cloud is coming. There you guys go.
I guess 6 T-flops no longer matter. So, I mean, and I heard about that for almost a year. You know?
Believe it or not, you can get a lot done with 6 T-flops. So well done, Sunshine. Well done.
Great job.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Appreciate you guys for your time. Thank you guys again. And of course, everybody, as always, y'all be blessed. Y'all be easy. Y'all be safe, as always. This is Big Cloud Gaming's RGT Podcast, episode 103. We're signing out. See you guys next week. Y'all have a good one.